Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to this live stream where we are going to look at games of Vishy Anand from the Superbet Blitz tournament. Vishy Anand won the rapid event. He was leading and right from the beginning, and he actually saw it through till the very end. So this was how it looked, and you can see here that the standings at the end was Vishy Anand was on 14 points, Richard Rapport on 13, Duda on 12, Wesley So 11, Levon Aronian 10, Caruana 9, Shevchenko 7, Wojtaszek 7, Anton Korobov 5, and David Gavrilescu 2. So totally 9 points today. 9 rounds will be played of blitz, so there will be 9 points at stake. Tomorrow 9 other rounds of blitz, so we'll see if Anand can maintain the lead. It's 18 points in all, which is a lot, and it will not be easy considering all these youngsters who are fresh and hungry to beat Vishy. The round is supposed to begin at 5:30. Am I right, or have I just come too soon? Maybe it was supposed to start later. Let me just see if yeah, it was supposed to start at 5:30. It is going to begin now. The games, Anand takes on Duda in the first round, so we'll be commentating on these games. And a very warm welcome to everyone in the chat. How are you doing, guys? How is everyone? Correct time. What is Vishy's rapid elo? Yeah. Yesterday we saw that he was. Oh, by the way, game has started. E4 by Vishy. He's played E4 on the board. What will Duda play? I think Duda will go Sicilian, of course. Yeah. Oh no, E4, E5. Very solid. So Anand goes for Bishop B5, Rui Lopez, and it is the anti Berlin on the board. As we all know by now, all of you are experts, knight e5 would be a mistake in this position. Just want to know if everyone's awake and can listen to me. Why is this a mistake? Very quickly. Why is this a mistake? Can everyone hear me in the chat? Please write down the move so that I can know that people are listening to me. And second. Yes, Queen D4 is the correct move. Lot of people have said that this is the move. Fantastic, guys. A double attack on E5 and F2. Fantastic. So this is not a good move. So Anand goes knight C3. Generally, they put their knight on D2 so that it can go to C4, but he plays it to C3. Queen E7, H3, A5, and now Vishy plays Bishop E3. And you can see that Anand is doing very well on the clock. He has 4 minutes 52 seconds. Duda has only 4 minutes on the clock. Anand actually might go for, very pragmatic approaches in the blitz segment, because if he goes for like long calculations, or any player goes for it, it's not very easy to do in blitz because you have only 5 minutes for the game. So A3, and now I think white will also castle. Or do you think Vishy will move his queen and go long castle? That is also possible. Or you start hurling your pawns. For me, if Anand maintains his lead in this tournament and wins this, it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be tremendously difficult. But let's see. Okay, knight e8 by Duda. I'm very excited, and I hope you all are as well. 5 plus 2. Yes, that's the time control. Knight e8 has been played. Ajay Kumar says, I just joined. I got scared. Because I had shown that incorrect variation. Correct. Okay. Now, the knight on c3 is not very happy because its square is on d5 and b5 controlled by the pawn here. So, very natural idea can be maneuvering the knight here. Look at Vishy pushing the pawn forward. Many of you say oh, if I shouldn't push my pawns in front of the king. But sometimes it's okay when the center is very stable. And I think Vishy playing g4, he gets his queen here. Maybe next rook f2 and the other rook moves in. That could be the idea. Yes, today it's all blitz. 9 rounds. Do we have to comment fast as well? Yes, Yash Gupta, you have to be very quick. All of us have to be quick. I also have to be on my toes to commentate. So Anand wants to do some sort of a minority attack here. Maybe g5 on the cards in future, because if you go g5 and e5 pawn could become weak. So Duda taking a lot of time. Generally, round number 1 players are very rusty because they have been used to a rapid time control of 25 minutes. And now all of a sudden they have to shift to blitz. So they are not very, they are not very used to playing so quickly. But Anand seems to have come prepared in that sense. And he knows that the first game is important. The position is around equal, maybe very slightly more comfortable for Duda as per the engines. But white play has been pretty smooth. What is Duda doing actually? What is he thinking? I don't know. He's taking a lot of time. A very natural move can be bishop e6, developing, knight b5. He goes g5, and that's not a great move, because now Vishy can actually think about going h4 at the right time. I'm actually thinking, can he do right now? But maybe h4, g takes h4, knight takes h4, king h8, and the rook can swing over here. That could be an idea. So Anand might be thinking about h4, because this is how we usually think, that can I open it up? Because otherwise black may go h5. And now Vishy taking time. Generally, when your opponent takes a lot of time, you give respect to him by taking some time. Because you think, oh, g5 is maybe a very interesting idea on the board. King g2 says Rohit Jacob. Very interesting. King g2 and rook h1. Like this concept. Rook f2, rook h2 says Rakshit. Also interesting. I think what Duda might want to do is also do rook f7, rook g7. Okay, Anand goes rook f2, as you all mentioned. Bishop e6 on the board by Duda. Now he wants to play quickly. He has a minute's deficit on the clock. Anand has 3 minutes, 12 seconds. Brings his other rook into the game. Now 2 rooks nicely settle down the f file. And we have the first member of today, Soman Seth. Thank you so much for becoming backer of Indian Chess. Guys, all those who would like to support Indian chess and enjoy whatever ChessBase India is doing, please do consider becoming a member. All the money goes to one talented youngster every month. So please do think about supporting. It helps a lot for the players whose dreams we can fulfill. Okay, h4 on the board now. Vishy has doubled his rooks. Oh, Akshay Nathu says, why can't we move the king towards safety? Akshay, that is actually an interesting idea. But if you bring your king too much here, then Duda will start to open the center. So Anand thinks his king is very safe on g1. Where is this knight going? Maybe the queen will move away. The knight will go to g3 and then settle on f5 or h5. Rook f7 on the board. Till now, the game has been very level, very equal. h4, Vishy finally opens it. Now, if Duda goes rook g, yeah, h6 makes a lot of sense, because when you take, he wants to take back. Now, g4 could become a potential weakness. If the queen goes here, it will start attacking. So Anand needs to have an idea against it. Maybe rook h2 is his plan, to switch the rook over. He goes knight h2. He says my knight defends the g4 pawn and my rooks are open towards the f6 square. c5 has been played. Queen to h3, making way for the knight to move in. Wow. The knight, when it moves to g3, then can go to h5. Yeah, maybe h5 is where he wants to go. This is such a strategic battle, you know. No pawns have been exchanged. Do you see that, guys? All 8 pawns on the board. 21 moves have been completed. Duda has 1 minute 25 seconds. Vishy Anand has 2 minutes 23 seconds. How do you continue here as black? Black is actually at a loss for what to do. Maybe he wants to play c4. Maybe he wants to play b4 to start play. Because he goes c4. He thinks that it's the right time to break. Anand jumps in. But I think Duda will now capture it. Because that would mean that his f6 weakness will be gone. He cannot capture with the rook because there are two minor pieces guarding the f5 square. He must take with the pawn now, which is g takes f5. Rook h7, and all of a sudden it's black who is in control now, because what black wants to do is move his king away, rook g8, and it looks like white's king is the one that is weaker. But in blitz, it's a very complicated position still. Anything can happen. Oh, Mrutyunjay Jalan here says, good evening, Sagar. Great chess Sunday ahead. Excited to follow this coverage. Cleared entire schedule for this. Wow, Mrutyunjay, that's so good to know. And thank you for following. Rook h7 has been played here. And Vishy now using his time that he had built up, the time lead, to find a way, because Duda somehow wants to just move his king away, and he's also playing on the queen side. On the other side of the board, the rook moves to g2, and the pawn comes up to c5. What does Vishy do actually? Because Vishy doesn't want to take on g5. The h pawn takes and the rook will open up. He also doesn't want to close it, because once he closes it, it seems like black's queen side is very powerful. Goes queen f3, cd, now take here. Ooh, c4. And rook to d1 has been played by Vishy. So now Vishy trying to switch over his pieces so that he can open up the position and start entering from this side. And Duda is down to 34 seconds. Mind you guys, there is a 2-second increment after every move. So I don't think there will be too many flag downs. Now look at this. He's attacking the e4 pawn, but Anand takes on c4. He's asking Duda, do you want to take with the pawn here? Then your knight will hang. If you take with the knight, then suddenly your knight is no longer attacking this. But if Duda gets tempted and picks this pawn, then rook d5 and white is winning. But of course, Duda doesn't make that mistake. He takes on c4 and the knight jumps to g4, queen b6. Vishy Anand now getting the advantage, it seems. But how? Maybe take, and rook h2, resting the h file away from his opponent. Because now he also has the d file. Duda is attacking the e3 pawn, but the knight and queen are defending it. His plan could be to play h5 and g4 here. So I think Anand should logically be taking on g5 now. But Vishy has 50 seconds. He goes rook to d5. What about h5? Oh, king h8 played. I think h takes g5 is a must now in this situation. He takes. Great move by Vishy. Excellent move, because f takes means you get a passer. If you take h takes, then the knight on g4 is a permanent member defending this and attacking here. Now this is lost. King takes h2, Anand winning. Queen h3 coming in and entering from this side. Knight takes f6. Whoa, take, queen h5 and rook moving in. Is Vishy Anand just completely winning here? But also queen h3. I mean, the endgame is also totally lost. Queen h3, queen h7. Oh, he finds knight f6. He finds it, queen h5. King g7, queen takes g5. Take the pawn. What? Vishy's rook d8. Can Vishy find this the only move to win? Threatening check and then a mating attack. He has 25. Oh, he finds it. Rook d8. 96. Rook h8. Threatening rook. Oh, again finds it. What? Oh, mate in 3. Check. What is Anand playing? King f7, queen d7, mate. He has won it. My God, what a game by Vishy Anand. King f7, queen d7. He starts off by completely demolishing Jan-Krzysztof Duda by first sacrificing a piece and then launching a mating attack. Vishy has won it. Queen d8, guys, for all those who are thinking what happens here, it's a mate. It's a checkmate on the board. Man, what a game! What a game! Actually, I was very much impressed by the fact that Vishy actually took on f6, because in Blitz, you generally want to play it a little safe here, like take, and this move, to find this move, epic. Because take, check, and now see, if you play queen h7, then there is rook d8 check. And when the king comes up, there is rook 8 d7 and you lose the queen. Check, rook blocks, takes, and you lose it. I mean, you can't take, sorry. What am I doing? And then you lose. So he couldn't bring the queen, so he had to play this, but Vishy took this one. Now, if you go to the last rank, you will get mated with the rook check. So he goes here, I mean, defending the rook. But to find rook d8 in Blitz, to find that this queen g8 check and queen e8 is a mate, and then to actually swing the rook over here. Wow, what kind of chess is this? This is a brilliant, accurate game of chess that Anand has played. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Sambit Ghosh says we are such a lucky generation to witness such a genius for decades. Absolutely, this was a brilliant game. And guys, with this win, Anand extends his lead, it seems. Just to see what happened in other games, Aronian won against Gavrilescu. Shevchenko beat Korobov. Duda lost to Anand. Wojtaszek beat Wesley So. And Caruana beat Rapport. Wow, that is amazing. So that means Anand has now a bigger lead in this tournament. Let's have a look at the standings to see what is the situation like. I don't know if the standings are updated or not, but maybe they are. Yeah, Anand is leading right now with 15 points. Richard Rapport on 13. Duda on 12. Wesley So on 11, Aronian on 11. So Anand has built up a 2-point lead. It's a long day ahead, guys. Long day ahead. Rakshit gives nice update here. Says Anand moves 2 spots in the live blitz rating, gains 10 points with this win, and is now 2768 with number 11 in blitz. Wow, that is great. And I have something very nice here to eat. Amruta has given me. It's called Sukha Bhel. Every time Anand wins, I'm going to try and eat it a bit. I don't know about the accuracy of the game. I think at the start, Anand didn't play very accurately, but the finish was very accurate. Well, Blitz, things change very quickly, so let's not be too excited. Let's be calm. But now he's facing Anton Korobov, and Korobov is a very good Blitz player, guys. I don't know what time the next round starts, but generally it should be back to back. But let's talk. Vishy should play the Olympiad, says Shivang Gupta. He's in such good form. We should start a Twitter thread to ask Vishy to reconsider his decision. आसिम खान से सागर भाई आज पानी पहली बार पहले भर दिया होगा आई होप थोड़ा ही पानी है Anish's tweet, huh? What did Anish tweet? Let me see. Oh, Akshay Natu. By the way, Akshay Natu had sent a membership message also saying members flex. Thank you, Akshay Natu, for being a member right from the very beginning. Going by Anand's form, you're gonna have a lot of Sukha Bhel Sagar. Let's see. Let's look at what Anish Giri tweeted. I'm sure he's also following a bit of this event because he also has to play at night. He's leading that tournament. Vishy re-tigered. Oh, not retired, but re-tigered. What a game by Anand. I mean, you see, Anish would see the quality of the game. He would see that these moves like knight f6 and all are not very easy to play in blitz. So, and that's why I think he tweeted. Is that even a word? Well, it's not a word, but it's just Anish's way of. So every round is in half an hour. Okay, got it. So next round starts at 6 o'clock. Let me see if we can look at some other games. 5 decisive games, yeah. This was Aronian versus Gavrilescu. Is there any live footage of the tournament? Chess Gnanpit says. Yes, on St. Louis Chess Club, they have the live commentary. It's done by Peter Swidler and Yasser Sairavan. Great commentators. Wow, actually Aronian was maybe slightly worse. Knight e5 check, king here, knight c8. But this was a mistake because after knight c4, the knight on c8 is trapped. So he had to maybe come back. Then c4 is hanging. Then rook d4, attacking this and this. You see, in blitz, you have to notice these tactics very quickly. If you don't, you are in trouble. d5, bishop e3, d4, bishop d4. When how did he lose this? He's a pawn up. Sagar bhai, can you not access to the live cams? Well, it's because of the Grand Chess Tour they are organizing. So they have the live feed. And maybe someday we can work with them. Sleepwalker, thank you so much for becoming booster of Indian chess. That's very nice. We have the second member for today. Amazing how quickly these GMs see the possibilities. True. It's tremendous. By the way, the mistake here happened somewhere around this point when white went g3, because then the rook came in, king went back, and he started losing material. And although this position should be winning, there are a lot of drawing chances here, and Aronian somehow managed to win this. King coming here and check here and mate here. Okay. Shivanshu Basu Malik says, hi Sagar, joined a bit late. Can you give a quick update? So Shivanshu, you have just missed one round yet. Anand played Duda and he won his game. So right now the standings look something like this, where Anand is at the top with 15 points. A big thanks to Chess24 here, whose scorecard we are using, and they maintain this on their website. So Rapport on 13, Duda on 12, Wesley So on 11, Aronian on 11, Caruana on 10. So these are the standings. We'll have 8 more rounds of blitz. Every round starts after half an hour. So the next round will begin in 7 minutes from now. Guys, do like the stream and also do consider to subscribe if you haven't. Let me see if I can put a subscriber count as well. I'll do it in a very professional way. I've become good at all this now. With my 2 screen setup and all, I've become better at trying to put things up. So earlier, it used to be more like it would come and then I would crop things and all of it. But now I'm talking with you, chilling with you, watching the chat. I'm like, Arsha, kya chal raha hai? Do you know about upcoming tourneys in Telangana? No, not sure. But chessbase.in/calendar always knows what tournaments are happening. There are always events there nicely kept. So please do check out. chessbase.in/calendar. Yeah, here is this. You know, the thing about Blitz is that it's so difficult to play it accurately, and also 9 rounds is a lot of games. But Vishy has made a start with a bang, and let's see how he continues here, because it's not going to be easy. Look at this smooth transition with a small subscriber number there. We have 9,05,000 people. Let's see where we reach today. Can we reach 9,06,000? What series and books are you reading right now, says Rakshit. One series that I really like is Panchayat, and the second season came up, so I watched it. I really like the acting of everyone. It's so authentic and so nice, and you watch it and you feel like those little problems that they face. So I enjoy it. I enjoyed that. Yeah, here the point system is normal with 1 for a win, half for a draw, 0 for a loss, not like Blitz where Rapid where 2 points were given for the win. Are the scores of the Blitz added to Rapid? Yes. It's like both are together. हर्षवर्धन कामले से आप आईएम होना तो जीएम क्यों नहीं बन जाते? वो तो बनना है पर थोड़ा मेहनत करना पड़ेगा, तो उसके लिए थोड़ा काम करना पड़ेगा. Piyush says, please check. There are 4 more minutes to go, so please check Caruana versus Rapport. Okay, good idea. Caruana versus Rapport game, because those are the two top players, two candidates here, along with Duda also. Okay, King's Indian is what Rapport loves to play. He also played that against Wesley So yesterday. Oh, he just chopped that off. When the knight is going here, sometimes it's okay to just take it. So he took g4, e5, d5, knight c5 takes, queen d2, king h7. Oh, king d1, queen c8, rook h8. It looks pretty normal, yeah. The position white is slightly better. But knight d1 was not a good move by Caruana, because hg4, and now if you take fg4, this is hanging. So that was a blunder. He had to come back. Are wildcards in GCT part of the candidate cycle? Not this year, Divit, but I think they have made an arrangement for next year. So I think next year they will be part of the cycle. So there will be, but not this year. Bishop h6. So Rapport was better here. Maybe he could play g3, and then bishop could sit here, or knight h5, knight f4. But he played gf, and now the king is slightly weak, and this is what happens in Blitz. You don't have time to make the right decisions. The attack actually broke through here. Queen takes c5, takes queen c4. Quite a big fight actually between them. I think the strongest player in this Blitz format, it's very difficult to say who, because Duda I thought is really good at Blitz, but Anand beat him. Caruana, if you look at what he is good at, then I think it's more like classical chess than Blitz. I mean, Caruana is very strong in general, but he's much better at classical than Blitz. Wesley So's Blitz skills are also not like the best in the world. I think Levon Aronian, in a way, might be the strongest Blitz player here. What do you think, guys? Who do you think is the strongest Blitz player? Of course, Vishy is a very strong player as well. Yeah, Himang Ghosh says Blitz not his best format. Okay, guys, game about to begin in 2 minutes. Yeah, but Hikaru is not playing here. Wesley, so I'm not sure, yeah, how strong he is in Blitz. I think Levon Aronian. I mean, in this tournament I'm talking about, yeah, like otherwise, of course, Magnus is there, Hikaru, Firuza, so many amazing Blitz players out there. Yeah, all the rounds are over and the next round should begin in a minute from now. Anand has the black pieces against Korobov. Let's see how he continues, how he plays here. Caruana might be the highest rated, yeah, here in Blitz. Quite possible. Korobov is a favorite target of Vishy, says Himank. Yes, but in Blitz, maybe not. Yeah, in Rapid, I think Vishy always gets the better of him, and Vishy usually has white pieces, and then they play like French game, and Vishy usually beats him. But now Anand has black, and Korobov really likes to play d4. So he's going to play d4. I'm going to guess the opening. d4, knight f6, c4, e6, and he will go knight c3, bishop b4, and e3. That's what will happen most likely. Let's see. It will be the Nimzo Indian. Ragozin, says Asim Khan. Oh, Asim. Okay. There's also Sharjah Masters. Good, Altaf. That's a good suggestion. I'll try to open it up in another tab, and then we can look at some Sharjah Masters games as well. Very good idea. Nightbot says you can put lipstick on Bogo, but it's still Bogo. Oh, nice. Nightbot. Amazing. Very nice. Quote. By the way, it's 6 o'clock already. The round should begin. But maybe they are a minute or two behind. Rakshit says Aronian has crossed 2800 in Blitz live rating. Wow. He's 2809 now. C4. Oh, he went C4. He didn't play D4. And Vishy plays the symmetrical English. Goes C5. And now the 4 knights on the board. All the knights have been developed. Plays D4, takes, knight takes. And there are two ways to play. You can either go G6 or E6. Let's see what Vishy does. He goes E6, A3 played to stop bishop B4. Now D5, typical Vishy move in the center. Always, Anand really values the center a lot. Beat Blitz, beat Rapid, beat anything. You see the world champion Magnus Carlsen yesterday playing 1h4. You will never ever see Vishy doing this stuff. Now we have some kind of a Tarash on the board with G3, but with A3, it's maybe black is doing pretty well. Bishop E3 has to be played. Otherwise, Anand is hitting this here. Yeah, bishop E3. Bishop moves back to B6. I think Vishy will castle at some point and go rook E8, and then rook takes E3 sacrifices would be in the air. So short castle, Anand has 5 minutes on the clock. Look, rook E8, yeah. And this is a typical exchange sack. Although it might not be very good here. I think queen D2 will be played. But I'm a bit worried that after queen D2, there could be some knight A5 ideas. So overall, the setup is very solid for white. His king is safe. His bishop on G2 is attacking D5. His knight on C3 is also attacking D5. So all in all, white is very well placed here. But Anand has an isolated pawn and ideas like knight E5, knight G4, knight E5, knight C4. He can play, he has more space. Also, remember this idea which we always keep seeing, which is H5, H4. Okay, knight A4, very interesting. So you want to play bishop C7, keep the bishop on the board. But also possible is to take, queen takes, and then rook takes E2. That is a free pawn. And Anand does it. He takes it and he's going to take this pawn. White has compensation because black is underdeveloped and has a weak pawn, but Anand says it's compensation. It's not like an advantage for white. So he takes the E2 pawn. Now what does black do? Knight C3, white do knight C3. Can we chop off another pawn? Is Vishy going to be brave enough to take that pawn? His lone rook entering white camp and attacking looks, and by the way, Anand has used only 30 seconds of his time. I think he can take it, but then knight d5, attacking the rook from behind. So if you take on d5, you will lose the rook. So you try to save your rook, rook b5, knight f6, queen f6. And somehow this rook is beautifully positioned, defending b7, so the bishop doesn't take it and the bishop can come out. So I think this is a very good idea, and it will also show the kind of form Vishy is in. Okay, rook e7 looks very natural. Just come back, let him take, it will be equal. But if Anand goes and chops this off, it's like Vishy believing in himself. You know, he's saying to himself, I am not afraid of ghosts. Yes, there is a discovered attack, but I'm not going to believe you. I believe in my calculations. Let's see what happens. Not so easy. Easier. Oh, Vishy is like, I believe in myself. And he's taken on b2. Guys, these are all signs. Like last game, knight takes f6, rook takes b2. These are all signs of a player who is in top form. Top form. Now, if given a chance, black wants to play bishop e6, defend his pawn, complete his development. So you want to take on d5. I think Korobov will take here unless he starts getting a bit crazy and goes knight e4. Could be an idea, but then Vishy will just come back. I mean, if you want to play that, then might as well take it. So he takes, by the way, knight d5 and then rook b6 by Anand. Oh, look at this move, rook b6. I was thinking rook b5, but rook b6, you can't take it because queen would hang on d4. And okay, knight f6, queen f6, and then he doesn't even want to spoil his structure maybe. Also, next move, you want to go rook d6 and pin it here. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Rook b6. Time control is 5 minutes plus 2 seconds increment. Vishy has 3 minutes 28 seconds. He's a pawn up, but you can simply feel that white has the activity for the time being. He can create some threats like queen h4, then rook d1, and Vishy has to remain careful. He goes rook d1. Okay, can we chop this off? Knight takes d5. He takes it, bishop takes, and now careful because bishop f7, you lose the queen. So what does Anand do? Can he do bishop e6, bishop e6, queen d4, bishop f7, king f7, rook d4? It might be a drawish rook endgame with equal pawns. If Anand wants to continue to fight for an edge, he goes queen f8, rook e1, bishop e6. But what if he takes, rook takes, pawn takes? I think this might end in a draw. Very likely, because black has an extra pawn, but white has activity. You can see that white pieces are very actively positioned. Also, the a7 pawn is a bit weak, so you can't really get your rook out. But notice how Vishy has kept an eye on the a3 pawn. He wants to take it if Korobov is not careful. I think what Anton can do here is play a4, or he can go queen d7. He does it. And now Anand can chop this off. Queen takes a3. If queen, he goes rook e8. Very solid. But now queen takes b7. Guys, this is getting a little dangerous. Queen takes b7, queen takes a3, rook d7, maybe coming in, then queen a1 check, and you defend g7. So Anand's still keeping that extra pawn, but not for long, I think. Not for long. Check is kind of forced, king g2, and do you want to push your pawn? No. Anand says no pushing the pawn, you can take it, Anton, I'm okay. You can take on a7, I'll go rook f8, and we will just agree to a draw. I think this one is a draw now. Yes, Anand has a slight weakness here, but well, the game is equal, roundabout equal. So a draw, most likely result here. Yeah, time-wise, Vishy has 3 minutes, Anton has 1 minute, but the position is too simplified now. I don't think you can just go queen e3 and maybe offer a draw and Anand will take it, I think. So, yeah, it's a good result. It's an absolutely good result for Vishy. Very good game, by the way. The quality of the game, generally in such structures, white presses with that isolated pawn. But Korobov had no chance. The moment he played knight a4, Vishy was just equalized without any difficulty. Flag karo Vishy bhai. No, I don't think. Oh, okay, they agreed to a draw already. Okay, draw. Good result there for Anand. Moves up half a point. Let's look at the game of the leader of the tournament. Aronian versus Richard Rapport. Very important game. Aronian, one of the best blitz players here. Richard Rapport, fantastic player himself. Beat Vishy yesterday in the rapid. Only player to beat Anand. C4, rook to E7 played. Game is crazy, like always, of Rapport. He is just playing some very insane chess. You can see here 4 pawns each, 3 pieces each. White looked better, but now Queen F4 you take. Take here. Mrutyunjay says recently started reading the Anand files. Read read the Mind Master last year, which gave really good insights into Anand's life. Would highly recommend everyone here to get a copy of it. Yeah, absolutely. I have my copy of Mind Master somewhere here behind me. I've read it. It's a great book by Anand, sharing his insights. And I think all of you who want to know Anand deeper, things about him, how he, there are certain things he talks about. Maybe we can discuss in the break, like right now, where he talks about how he stays focused on things, how he doesn't get provocative to his opponents, how some players thrive when they start, trash talking and stuff, how he dislikes it, and all these insights which you would otherwise not get are there in the book. So it's a very nice book, and it's co-authored by Susan Ninan, who used to work at ESPN and is a tremendous writer. So together, Vishy and Susan, they have done a great job. I think another book which, like this combination of authors, was Abhinav Bindra and Rohit Brijnath. If you haven't seen it, just read. If you haven't read it, please do read it. Beautiful book on how Abhinav Bindra won the gold medal, first individual gold for India at the Olympics. Okay, Rook D2 played by Levon. So seems like the position is around equal, but Rapport has better pawn structure here. Sumit says, any comment on Anand's opening prep? Do you think he was not taking a break but preparing extensively with engine? Sumit, I feel, this is my just hunch, that there are two things that Anand does really well. First of all, he is working with these youngsters at the Westbridge Anand Chess Academy. So they are always playing something or the other, and now like Pragnananda is always playing these top players, and Arjun is playing against some of the best in the world. So he's constantly in touch with them, practicing with them, as he said on record as well that he played blitz against some of them. So that is, I think, one of his key ingredients, key secret sauces for staying in touch. The other is also that he has Gaevsky who works with him. I think most likely he's still working with him. And even when Anand is not playing tournaments, I think Gaevsky is always working on new ideas. And I think that is very important for any top player, to have a second who's working around the clock. And I'm not sure if he's still working around the clock for Vishy, but could be very much. So then, when you have such a person, then you can keep getting this fresh kind of ideas all the time coming at you. And Anand in general loves chess a lot, so I think he must be working on it. But these are all kind of guesses, but I mean with logic that I'm trying to make here. By the way, Richard could have repeated, but he did not. He wants to play for a win because Aronian is very low on time. It seems like The game is around equal. White is a pawn up, but has doubled pawns. But why did he draw, says Vishnu Sharma? The position was equal, Vishnu. I don't think there was any chance for black to win. By the way, bishop e8 check here, king h6, and now rook a6 maybe entering, hitting the b6 pawn. Could be a good idea. Oh, today, by the way, also final day of the qualifiers at the Champions Chess Tour. So please do join in there. And now this is getting really nasty now. This white should press. Pawn up, bishop pair. Yes, doubled pawns, but hey, doubled bishops as well. So I think this will be tough for Richard to draw now. I think Levon will push. Levon will push hard. And good chances that at least 1 out of the 3 Indians would qualify at the Champions Chess Tour, maybe even 2 out of 3. Anish Giri leading the tournament, so he's of course going to make it through to the top 8. Oh, takes on b6, knight f4, and now there is a c pawn passer here. Ajaya says we want Saravanan who can tell some amazing short stories. Ah, nice. Actually, I just spoke with him the other day, and we are planning to do something related to like stories on the Olympiad, some very interesting stories that he has read, he has experienced, and so on about the Olympiad. So we will do some kind of a podcast like show with him. Of course, he's one of the very pleasant to hear personalities in chess. People love listening to him, and he has such a huge wealth of knowledge. So I think you guys will enjoy that. You can see that black had winning chance, white had winning chance. Oh, bishop takes e6 is winning. Bishop takes e6, king takes e6, and bishop e5. Okay, also bishop e5 is winning. Check, king d3. I think this is winning. Bishop e6. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. King c4. Yeah, winning now. Aronian, as I said, high favorite. Yeah, in this. He's one of the best. King b7, c7, and this is going to be over. Aronian is going to beat. Yeah, he beats Richard Rapport. Rapport tried a bit too hard, losing there. That is what Rapport is all about. He sometimes overstretches. We have Caruana, who managed to beat Wojtaszek. By the way, a blunder happened here with bishop d1. Not a blunder, but I think white was better after b5. Like Wojtaszek was doing really well, but in the end, he got out, sort of out-tacticked. That is a word. That's usually what happens in blitz. It was an equal-ish endgame. One down. Should have been a draw, but somehow Caruana managed to win. Okay. Duda lost again to Wesley So. Korobov drew with Anand, and Gavrilescu drew with Shevchenko. So these are the standings here. Let's have a look at them. 1 second. Let me see if they are updated. Yes. Anand on 15.5. Rapport now building a 2.5 point lead. Next round will start in 12 minutes. Richard Rapport on 13. If you are enjoying this commentary, please do like the stream. Also, please do subscribe if you haven't. And Richard on 13, Wesley So on 12, Aronian on 12, Duda on 12. So that's how it is. And I'm going to also play a small ad here. Something very interesting about ChessBase. ChessBase 16 is a powerful software where you can save your games and analyze them. You can also create databases and manage them. It's a powerful tool for any serious chess player and is used by all the top grandmasters in the world of chess, be it Carlsen, Anand, or any other tournament player. The best database that works along with ChessBase 16 is Mega Database 2022. The database opens inside of ChessBase and has over 9.2 million games with over 100,000 of them being analyzed and annotated by top grandmasters across the world. The biggest advantage of this database is that you can search any position and get to know who has played it before with the reference feature. You can also prepare professionally against your next opponent, which will help you to gain precious rating points in your next round. Get the ChessBase 16 and Mega Database now. Link is in the description. Is the first link in the description, so do check it out if you would like to get it. ChessBase 16 plus Mega Database. And guys, who is the next opponent for Vishy Anand? The next opponent for Anand is David Gavrilescu, and this is maybe a good chance for Vishy to even increase his lead further, because he's the last seed of the tournament and Anand has white pieces against him. DK Popa says it's a nicely made ad, Sagarwai. Thank you. Thank you. I hope to make a few more for some of the chess-based products so that people know more about it. Like our chess set and other things. But slowly, it was made by Abhyudaya, who is the creative head of ChessBase India. He makes all of these very nice things. And also this thumbnail that you can see at the top is created by him. Also this overlay is by him. So very cool. DGT. Yeah, exactly. Let's look at Sharjah Masters also. Watch broadcast Sharjah Masters. Adiban is playing against Saleh. So while this happened, by the way, Sharjah Masters, one of the strongest open tournaments. We have Arjun, Narayanan SL, Gukesh, Nihal, Adiban, Sethuraman, Abhijit Gupta, Abhimanyu Puranik, Aryan Chopra, Raunak Sadhwani, everyone playing there. Let me do something so that people, all of you here, can, also follow what's happening. Like here, I'm going to put Vishy's results, somewhere on the screen. Where will I do it? Let's see. So he beat round 1 Duda. So we'll put 1. He drew against Korobov. So we'll put a draw. And now he's playing Gavrilescu. So we'll put this here and put it on the side somewhere so that people who come, they know what's happening with Vishy today. Seems like a good idea, yeah? So Vishy, by the way, I'm having huge expectations from Adiban in this tournament, and I think it's high time that he fires, because he has been struggling big time recently. And I think it's very much possible that he won the first round against an IM, and now he is slightly better in his game against Salem Saleh on top board of the tournament. Sethuraman playing against Alexei Sarana, and Sethu seems to be doing pretty well here. Very interesting position for Sethu. Gavrilescu spelling is incorrect. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Chinmay. Aryan Chopra playing against Diash Bogdan. Slightly better position for white. Bogdan Diash Daniel is a very good positional player from Romania. and I think Aryan will have his task cut out to handle this game. It's slightly worse, as you can see, doubled pawns here. If India gets a third team, says Rakshit, then we can see the others playing in the Sethu playing in the Olympiad. Probably it will be Sethu, Puranik, Ganguly. Yeah, it will be after. I think the last player in the entire thing was Raunak. So after that, whoever 5 are rated as on the average of April, May, and June first rating lists. On 28th of June, it will be decided. Gukesh. Wow. Looks like slightly worse for Gukesh, man. He's just underdeveloped. Yeah, oh, Gukesh is black, yeah. Sindarov, very talented youngster, will take on f3 with the queen. And Gukesh's development is horrible. And if you take f takes e4, here is a important move that white should play. Can you find it, guys? Anand game will start in 5 minutes now. Mention the scores or the scores. Yeah, I will show you the scorecard after every game. So something like this, So then scorecard is here, and what are Anand's scores also mentioned. So like this, we will keep switching. Savita chess, very good. D6. KR Alok, excellent. Dhanai Doshi, I like this move. D6. Because if e takes f3, then you have d takes c7. But if he takes bishop takes d6, then queen takes a4, and the structure is still broken. Because if you were to play queen takes e4, then after c takes d5, the structure seems slightly better for black. Also, queen g3, which was suggested, is not a bad idea, because after take here, then you have knight to b5 attacking the queen. Your queen cannot move anywhere, has to go to b8 or e7. And then in a position like this, you generally want to open up things when you are so much ahead in development. So can you find a good move here for white? When opening up the position, it's like messy. You have to open it. You have to push it. Like, it's a koldo. f4, Paras Boyer, I like. Mistadam, I like f4. And even something stronger. f3, Sachin Saju, excellent. Sayam Chakraborty, Tapa 10, excellent. I like f3. It's after you take, rook takes or queen takes, just totally gone position. Everything's just lost. So always remember, when your opponent's king is in the center, open up the position. I think Gukesh in big trouble today against Sindaro. And Sindaro thrives in such positions. He's very good at such positions. We have Abhijit Gupta playing against Shant Sargisian. Looks roundabout equal. Is Abhijit piece down? Yes, he's piece down, but he's getting his piece back. Knight d5. Abhimanyu Puranik. Wow, what a position. Abhimanyu is very creative. Huh? If king h2, bishop e5 is almost mate. I mean, it's a mate. So king f1, queen f4, king g1, queen e3. Okay, Anand's game about to begin. Let's go back. Vishy Anand taking on Gavrilescu in a minute from now. Everyone's playing in Sharjah, Sarvendran, Maheshwaran. Sharjah Masters is the tournament. सर मैंने एग्जाम्स की वजह से चेस छोड़ दिया था और जब वापस खेल रहा हूँ तो बहुत बेकार गेम हो गया है. रेटिंग 1500 से 1100 हो गए. एनी टिप्स? समवन जस्ट ट्राई टू प्ले कामली. Don't be distracted while playing. Think more. Play longer games for a few days and you will see that your level is coming back. Like you need to be focused. Just don't give it up. Is Anand still leading? Yes, Anand is leading by 2 points. Why isn't Rajabo playing in CCT or GCT? I think Rajabo is going to play in Norway chess now, next. The game will start in a minute from now. Mahesh Jairam says, are there any chess clubs in Chennai? Mahesh, I'm sure there would be, but something where people can come and meet and play, I'm not very sure of it. But I think Chess Gurukul is one, of course, Ramesh's Academy. There must be others. There is Chess Thulir by Sham Sundar. And there are other trainers like Vishnu Prasanna, whose wife Raghavi also, they run a chess academy there. So there are many academies, but I think to find a place where people come and just play, all these academies might be having those things. Abhilash Darla says, can you give us some insight into FIDE elections? Okay, I'm not a big expert there, but I think generally it's like you have to, all the countries have voting rights and you have to get maximum votes for yourself. Right now, Dvorkovich is standing. I think there's also a Ukrainian GM who has stood up against Dvorkovich for the FIDE elections, for the FIDE presidentship. I don't know who is the other people who are going to be there. But last year in 2018, it was a very interesting struggle where Dvorkovich was a new entrant, and there was Nigel Short running for presidentship. There was also Macropoulos. Okay, we'll talk about this. E4 by Vishy. French defense on the board. Vishy, will he go for advance? That is what he played against. No, he goes knight c3, the classical variation. Knight f6, e5, f4. Now c5, very standard. Knight to f3, knight c6, bishop e3. You put your bishop there. cd, knight d4, queen b6, and now queen d2. Giving up this b2 pawn is fine, because if you take queen takes b2, there is rook b1, queen a3, and this is all theory. I think best move is bishop b5, which Anand plays. Anand knows his theory. Take here on d7 might be the natural move. And now, can we take on b7 or first insert rook b3? I think that's an important detail. Yes, he plays it. Vishy knows his stuff. And now take on b7. Queen, but Gavrilescu also knows his stuff here. Queen f2, I think, is the best move here. Exchanging the queens. We can later on check in our ChessBase 16 if this is all theory, but most likely it is. Anand goes g3 and Gavrilescu slows down just a bit. He's like, Vishy, wasn't queen f2 the main move? But now Vishy can castle. So after almost blitzing out 16 moves, we are now in a position where it seems like it's a fresh one for both the players, at least for Vishy. He's thinking here. And if we take stock, we'll realize that, oh, Anand goes pretty aggressive. He goes rook c7, queen d8. And now there could be a deadly discovered attack, but can't find it. Wherever you move your rook, the bishop will hang. Oh, you can make a draw with rook b7, queen c8, rook c7. But I don't think Anand will go for a draw so soon. Maybe queen d4. Defending your bishop could be a very good idea. Let's see what Anand does here. Also, the overall way in which this tournament is organized is very cool, because you have 30 minutes for every blitz game, so you get some time to relax. Yes, queen d4 played by Vishy. It's like the first time that Anand is low on time. Bishop a3. Is this still preparation by Gavrilescu? Amazing. He's making his moves pretty quickly. And now Anand can think about playing f5 ef5, e6, but instead he just castles. He's like, let's keep it simple and safe. I think short castle will also be played by David. But then Vishy might want to play d5. Oh, rook c8. Nice move by black. And now if you take queen takes c8, the black king is in the center for the time being, but I don't see a way of taking advantage of it. Also, if you go rook a7, there is rook c4, which is a very irritating move. Look at this. Rook a7, rook c4. Now, if you take on c4, queen takes b6. Check. Would hang. And if you take on d8, then rook d4. I don't know what kind of position is this. Maybe it's around equal. But it seems like Gavrilescu is putting a lot of pressure on Vishy. And it's in games like these that mistakes happen when you are trailing 2 minutes behind on time. Let's see what Vishy comes up with. Definitely one of those tougher blitz games from him because his opponent has come supremely well prepared. We can also think, do you think can we play a move like rook c6? Because there is an attack here. Not really, because after rook c6, bishop d8. What's the winning move here, guys, in the chat? Yeah. Bishop to c5. Absolutely. Being brilliant at chess. Absolutely right. So he takes on c8. Vishy doesn't go rook a7. He takes on c8. Queen takes c8. And rook goes to b1. Now, it looks like black is the one in the driver's seat right now because of the fact that he can castle. But somehow, Gavrilescu is not too ready to castle because I think he's a little bit apprehensive of the f5 break. See, if you castle f5, next move you want to go f6. And the moment you capture here, then the d5 pawn is weak. I think you can't take on d5 instantly because of the c2 pawn hanging. But you can definitely go rook b3, bishop e7, and now knight takes d5. But he castled, and now queen e3 by Anand. He's brought his queen back. Maybe he wants to play bishop e3. Also, knight d5 in the air because queen takes a3 would hang. So, lot of things happening here. Vishy taking a lot of time. He has 2 minutes 27 seconds. Gavrilescu has 3 minutes 44 seconds. Queen c4. The queen moves in. Black has played tremendously till now. He's played a great game of chess. But let's see if Anand can turn this around. Because if you see just the board, you will see black has the bishop pair. Black has a better pawn structure. Everything is working out really well for Vishy. Now queen c4, he wants to play rook to c8 and put pressure here and also on the c2 pawn. So what should Anand do? Maybe rook b3, but then there is bishop b3, bishop b4. These are the positions in which Vishy may just lose his cool and make a mistake. Rook b3 is a nice move. And now Gavrilescu can either go bishop b4 or bishop e7. These two are good moves in the position. Which one will he choose? I think bishop b4 looks very natural to hit here. And then, but look at this idea, guys. Rook takes b4, queen takes b4 and bishop c5. There is no check or anything. So you need to move your queen. And then I can take this and can try to fight. So maybe Gavrilescu might not go for this. Although that end position is completely fine for black, and he plays it. Great game by David. Yeah, this is a tough game for Vishy. I think taking here might not be the best idea. He goes queen d4, but now look at this amazing move that Gavrilescu has. Bishop a5. It's such a difficult move to find because after take, you can take. And now the rook is hanging, this is hanging, and this is hanging. You can't control everything. Can he find bishop a5? Almost. If he finds it, he will win the game. Bishop a5. What a tactic on the board. I think for Gavrilescu, this might be the high point of this tournament, which has otherwise not gone so well. Bishop a5 needs to be found. Once you play bishop a5, you can't even play bishop here because rook c8. Pressure here. This is completely winning. This knight is hanging. Oh, he finds it. He plays bishop a5. What a move by Gavrilescu. Brilliant. Brilliant move. And in fact, now Anand in big trouble. Big time. This is lost. He's low on time. He has a minute down. Bishop takes a5. You cannot take because your queen will hang on d4. See, you can just get it. Like, this position is losing. The best defense that Vishy has is to take here and go into this exchange down position. But this looks very difficult. He goes bishop a7. And now, very important to go rook c8. Putting pressure here. Very, very necessary move. Because after rook c8, let's say, where does the knight go? Knight e2, free knight. Knight, queen takes. Knight b1, I don't like it. Bishop b5 maybe. Threatening on f1. So rook c8. Has that been played? Yes. What's up with Gavrilescu? Oh, making all the best moves in the position. He's now threatening bishop takes c3, winning a free piece. Vishy Anand is just completely lost. But what a beautiful game by Gavrilescu. He's just played all the best moves here. All the best moves. And I think now Anand has no way to even resist. What to do? Like, okay, you can try takes and rook a3. But after bishop b4, you are going to lose one of the pieces. It's just, yeah, you can go here, but this. And I think Vishy might have to resign. Oh, he resigns. Wow. Wow. What a game by the last seed of the tournament. Beating the top finisher in the Rapid, Vishy Anand. That was a brilliant game. Brilliant game by Gavrilescu. Some high quality preparation by him. And he managed to beat Anand. Just to have a look at this entire line that happened, guys. Maybe we can just have a look on our board here and see if how many times has this happened before, because I think he just played brilliantly. e4, e6, d4, d5, knight c3, knight f6, e5, knight d7, f4, c5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop e3, cd, knight d4, queen b6. This has been played 1100 times. Queen d2, queen takes b2 has happened 830 times. So Vishy is still very well in his preparation. Bishop b5 703 times. Knight d4 main line. Bishop d4, a6 434 times. Bishop d7 403 times. Takes. Rook b3 383. Queen e7 378. Rook takes b7 and queen h4 110 games. And now I think this is where Vishy came up with a new idea. Caruana has played bishop f2 here, and queen f2 has been played by Karyakin, but literally no one has gone g3. Very few players. I think Sethuraman, DH, but no top player. And after queen d8, bishop b6, queen c8, rook c7, queen d8. This has been seen in Iwich versus Bluebau. Vishy went queen d4, bishop a3. So it's a new position. And I think till queen d8 might be his preparation of Gavrilescu, but after that he played it over the board and he made some brilliant moves and managed to beat Anand. Let's see if there are other games which are going on, just so that we can witness them. Aronian is still playing. Let's have a look at Aronian game. Wow, better. Levon is better. P2, K2 check, queen takes A5. Maybe this pawn is hanging, but also D4 would hang. So, not so easy to win this. Check, he gets 7. No check here. So H5 and he'll try to come up. Oh, Queen G3 is a good move. Check here. H5. Will Aronian be able to... Oh, ooh, take here. Yeah, 2 pawns up. Should be winning. Yeah, this should win. This should win. But it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Of course, queens cannot be traded. That is for sure. Something... yeah, maybe he had check king here. Check king G1 is a big mistake, it seems. I don't know why. Maybe king H1 was a better move. Or king G2. Check. White has some realistic holding chances, yeah? Here. But I think Levon will outplay his opponent. He'll move around, and then he will force him to blunder. In blitz, with 3 seconds on the clock, it's very difficult. But Shevchenko resisting very well. But now H3 was a good move. Somewhere. Yeah, after this game, we'll look at the scorecard. Check. Queen F1. Queen G4. Check, check. Well, they have repeated this position several times, yeah? And it seems like for Aronian to make progress is not at all easy here, even though he has 2 pawns. Check. Queen G3. Let's just quietly observe what's happening here. There have been many checks that have been given, but the last pawn push was on move 68. And we have had 108 moves already. So actually, yeah, if it reaches 118 without any pawn move, then it's a draw. But I think he'll push now h3 some point. We are on 113. 4 more moves. If no, oh, he pushes the pawn. So now again, the meter is set to 0. Oh, Ashwath Raja says Rapport lost. Wow. Rapport lost on time. Oh. Now Queen F3, but then he'll go back and give a check. Well, here Queen D7 seems like a draw now. What happened? He came King G3. He had to play Queen D2 here. Here this check. Ooh, nice. If he takes, it's a stalemate. Here Queen H2 check, and Aronian won on time. Okay, what the game as well. King F4, Queen H2. Nice. Levon wins again. And I think Levon has won all three of his games. The results of this round were Shevchenko losing to Aronian, Anand losing to Gavrilescu, Wesley So beating Anton Korobov, Caruana and Duda draw, and Wojciech beating Richard Rapport. And Richard was doing very well, it seems. The final position was drawn. Final position was drawn. And Wojciech won as black. Richard had an extra piece but lost on time. Oof. But it's a draw actually because the king is coming in like this. Okay, let's have a look at the standings to see who's leading yet in the tournament. And Vishy still has a solid 2.5 point lead here over Rapport, but Wesley So has joined Richard Rapport. So has Levon Aronian. So now 2.5 points separate them, and also Duda on 12.5, Caruana on 11.5. So Vishy still having a very nice lead, and he's now facing another very strong youngster. He's going to face Shevchenko in the next round with the black pieces. That game will start in 9 minutes from now. Why did my full video all of a sudden come? No idea. Guys, I'm going to get rid of it. Yep. And let's have a look here. Give Gavrilescu 0. That means Vishy is scored 0, not Gavrilescu. And next opponent is Shevchenko. Blitz not going very well for Rapport. Loses all 3 games. Yeah. How many rounds will be played today? 9 rounds will be played. The leaderboard is in Anand's favor right now, 2.5 points. Gokul says Anand shouldn't be losing to the likes of Gavrilescu. He has to still face Rapport, Duda, Aronian, So. Yeah, well, the point is his opponent played so well. I'm still a little bit confused as to why G3 is not played so often. So if you guys can just join me once again to understand the position a little better, like Queen E7 here, Queen H4. Why, if what happens if I play Bishop F2? Like he will go back, castles, and Can he go bishop e7 or bishop a3? Maybe here the problem is that after here attack queen d8, already white is doing really well with f5. So this move g3 in some way hurts white, yeah, or not? I'm not at all clear about this. Like g3 here, here. Maybe this is not the best move. Yeah, he should have played rook a7 there. That could be the better move, but takes rook b1. I think f5. Yeah, Anand just this playing on the queen side did work out well for Vishy. That's the point. Like here, castles, queen e3. I mean, he made a lot of inaccurate moves that Gavrilescu actually punished him for those errors. Knight b1. I mean, queen takes c2. Bishop b5. This is just. Ribanshu says next to next is Anand versus Aronian. So you mean after Shevchenko, it's Anand Aronian. Okay, cool. Awesome. Let's wait for Shevchenko Vishy. 5 minutes to go. Rohit B says Nihal having a bad position. Okay. By the way, Abhimanyu drew. Arvind Chidambaram slightly worse against Chigayev. Raunak winning another game. Yeah, Raunak was on 1 out of 1. So he won another game against Al Hosani Omran 2191. Arjun Erigasi versus Lucas Van Forest. Arjun doing. By the way, Arjun played something totally crazy out of the opening. Yeah, look at this: e4, e5, Scotch, knight f6, knight takes c6, e5, queen e7, h4, f6. Now guess the move for white, guys. Anshik Chakraborty, I'm 13 years old and I'm pretty bad at navigation on offline match. Anshik, maybe you want to look at the playlist called Imbalance Theory. Apurva Sardana says b3. Santanu Biswas says e takes f6. No. Think a little bit deeper. Being brilliant at chess, what is e6? I just take it like with the queen. Okay. If I take with the queen, that see you take at d5. E6 interesting, huh? E6. D takes e6 is best, or even long castle. The move is rook h3. Tisha says Sagar अच्छी गई KVPY exam. Arey, very nice. 2 days ago, you were saying that it looks difficult, but now it went well. The rook swung over, and now you will see that white is totally undeveloped, but Arjun manages to, somehow, and generally this knight is trapped, so it's bad. But here no one can attack it because the rook is way away. It was a very weird position that came in this game. But somehow this knight is still trapped. It looks like Arjun might be winning this. Let's see. Arush Kaushik, that's great to know. From 1826 to 2306 on leeches. That is excellent. I don't know what. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, the game is about to start. Let's have a look at it. Anand with black against Shevchenko. Kirill Shevchenko, very good at blitz, very good blitz player. Excellent blitz player. Ashutosh Arya, the chair that I'm using is called Greed Soul. Greed Soul, yeah. Gaming chair. It's a very good one. Hirar Jaiswal says in National Under 10 in Jammu, I stood 11th, having 7 points in 11 rounds. Very good. I think your name must be something else. You're using your father's account. So, what's your name? Okay, let's see what Shevchenko comes up with. Let's go, guys. I think this one, Vishy will do well. E4, E5, knight F3, knight F6. It's Petrov. And Shevchenko can take the pawn. But he can also play what Rapport played. No, he takes D6. Will he take knight F7? No, no, no. Come on. Hello, India. Okay, so he goes back. Vishy takes the pawn, knight C3. Knight takes C3, D takes C3, bishop E7, bishop E3, castles. And now queen D2 and long castle would lead to a very interesting battle. But bishop D3 was played here. Knight D7 by Anand, just developing his knight. Let's see what white does. I think queen d2 looks logical. Or is he going to play short castle? He goes queen e2. Okay, rook e8. Looking here. Yeah, knight f6. Very simple, steady play. Long castle, rook e8. These are the little moves that good players always play. Putting the queen opposite putting the rook opposite your opponent's queen. Also, the rook is standing here opposite black's queen. It's still just the opening, but look at Vishy's time. He has 5 minutes 4 seconds. In the last game, he took a lot of time, and I think he wants to correct that. King b1, and now maybe bishop f8. Drop your bishop back, or do you want to play bishop e6? Looking at this direction, it's not so easy for both sides to launch an attack, especially like for black. How do you even start? He goes d5, but I am not so happy with this move because now you can go c4, undouble your pawns, and also open up this file for the rook. So c4 looks like a great move for Shevchenko. But Shevchenko taking his time, plays c4, excellent move. Vishy might have to go c6 because cd then he can take with the knight. Of course, you don't want to take here because once you take, bishop takes c4 is good, but there's a stronger move, guys. Can you find it? Yeah, bishop h7. Viraj Pandit, Krishna Parekh, very good. Bishop takes h7. Swapnil Gupta, Arant Aram, Mamba, very good. So you can't take it. So c4. Vishy is still thinking for his move. What should he play? He can go c6 here. Seems like a good move. Also, like, can you go something like g6? But g6 is always very suspect because h4, h5, you create a hook. And Anand taking a lot of time here because clearly he's in some difficulty. His last move actually was not a good one. He plays bishop to c5. Very interesting move. And maybe it's just a pawn sacrifice because after cd5, you don't want to take knight d5 here. First of all, bishop c4 looks strong. But secondly, you can also take, check here and then capture the knight on d5. So bishop c5, I think, is like a pawn sacrifice. After takes. You want to play like pawn down position, maybe here like bishop g4 or something. So he takes on d5. And I think these two games, the last one against Gavrilescu and this one against Shevchenko, might be the ones that could turn around this tournament for Anand. He plays bishop g4. He is in big difficulty. He's a pawn down now, but he's looking for compensation. His pieces are active. He's got his bishop out. But not easy. h3 maybe. Just push the bishop away. Being brilliant at chess suggests bishop e3 here, fe3 and knight g4. But then e4, and you can see that these pawns are very strong. So he goes bishop g4 here instead. And after h3, I think Anand should not take here because if he takes, queen takes f3 and okay, maybe queen takes queen takes f3. Bishop e3, pawn takes e3. Well, this could be a playable position like rook e5. But Anand goes bishop h5. Yeah, he likes this move better. And now g4. Wow. Okay, Vishy has to play bishop g6. There's no other option. Let's go. He has some extra time on the clock, nearly 43 seconds on the clock, which is more. No, bishop cannot be taken, by the way, because the queen would hang on e2. So g4, bishop g6, bishop takes g6, h takes g6 has happened. White is a clear pawn up, but Anand is hoping that he can somehow trick his opponent here. And it is still possible to trick Shevchenko here, but not easy, not easy. One of the moves that white would want to think of, black would want to think of is knight e4 here. That is a possible move. But Shevchenko taking a lot of time, and Vishy pawn down is compensated by having 1 minute 30 seconds more on the clock. So that could be something that could work in Vishy's favor. But as of now, his rook is inside. His queen needs to develop. What does white do? Like, can you go rook h e1? Just centralize. You can also play rook d3 as a possible move. And now he's down to a minute. I think Shevchenko feeling the heat here, facing Anand. He is not, he goes knight g5, but now Vishy seems to have an advantage by taking here, pawn takes and rook e5, attacking the knight and also the pawn on d5. That is what he would like to do. Yes, he does it. Takes, and rook e5. That was on the cards. Now the knight is hanging and so is the pawn, which is not only going to recover his pawn, but also end up with a better position because the pawn on e3 is weak and isolated. So Vishy Anand fighting back here. h4 by Shevchenko. Can we just take this pawn? Yes, but then there can be tactics here like knight f7, hitting the queen, king f7, and then g5. Very powerful move. The knight, if it moves, queen f3 check, and you lose here. So maybe Anand not rushing into taking here. Very careful. Plays his queen up. Wants to double down the e file. Put pressure on the e3 pawn. If you play e4, it will be a free pawn here. Also, the g4 pawn is under pressure here. And so e4 has been played. Now Shevchenko has only 31 seconds. Vishy brings his rook quickly. He's playing fast so that his opponent doesn't get enough time to think. Shevchenko only 20 seconds. He needs to figure out what to do. His g4 pawn is hanging. Maybe rook g1 is possible, but let's say if I go rook g1, then knight takes e4 is hanging. So e4 pawn and g4 pawn both under pressure, and he's down to 6 seconds. I think Vishy is going to just outplay him on the time. Queen c4 played by him with 9 seconds on the clock. Anand takes the pawn on e4. So Vishy now is equal in the number of pawns. The knight has to be traded, but instead he goes knight f3. And let's go back with your rook. It's a simple move. Yes, Anand plays it. Rook at g1 is played. Knight to d6 here. Vishy now clearly better. His knight beautifully positioned. Rooks on the open file. It seems like he's going to get the better of Shevchenko. Queen f4. And now rook can go to e4. Yes, rook e4. Queen g3. Rook e3. h5 played here. g5 by Anand. Pushing forward. Queen f2. And now Queen e7. Knight to d4. And white is trying to hang on here, but Vishy can just enter the position with queen e4. He goes queen to f6. And he doesn't exchange. He should have exchanged. Takes rook e4. Rook f1. And now he has to block with rook f4. What else? Anand has 2 minutes. Shevchenko hanging on with just 5 seconds on the clock. Rook f4. Rook takes f4. G takes f4 now. Knight to f3. Try to block the pawn. But rook e3. Oh yes, Vishy plays rook e3. Queen goes to g2. Knight comes to c4. Threatening a mated one here. c3 only move. Now queen b6. Again threatening a mate here. Anand takes on c3. Wow, what a sacrifice. If b takes c3, what's his plan? Queen takes c3, is it? Does he want to do that? Yeah, he takes. Knight a3 was a mate, by the way. a4. Queen b3 check. King c1. Is it a draw? Oh, there is queen d1 check. King d1. Knight e3 fork. And you win on g2. Wow. Vishy Anand has seen that. There is a fork here. And he's totally winning now. Takes. The knight endgame is better. But the knight is slightly awkwardly placed on g2. So knight d3. Knight e3. King e4. Knight takes g4. He's 2 pawns up. King takes f4. Knight f6. King e5. King f8. What was that rook sacrifice there? That was insane. Let's go. King e7 up. But king e7, there might be knight f5. So let's first push the king away with knight d7. Oh, he takes the pawn on h5, knight b5, king e7. Knight endgames are always very tricky. Shevchenko has been playing on a couple of seconds almost the entire game. What a good fight by him, but I think it's not going to be enough. He's going to lose this. Knight c6 check. Oh, takes a6. Is this pawn going to queen? Not really. Knight d6. Vishy has seen it. His knight is coming back here and stopping the pawn. There was a check in the position. Otherwise, knight b5 and game is over. Shevchenko resigns, I think. Vishy Anand scores his second win of the Blitz event. What an intense game. King d4. But okay, king d4, you have many ways to win. King d7 is also winning because a7, knight b5. And Anand wins. Wow. What a game that was. Vishy Anand has won against Kirill Shevchenko. An excellent game. And now has one more win under his belt. Very important one, by the way, for his confidence after losing to Gavrilescu. But guys, what a moment this one was. By the way, he recovered his pawn and everything looked good. But then Vishy just chopped off this pawn on c3. It took him, what? Like he had 2 minutes 6 seconds, 5 seconds to play this. How quickly can you see this? Take. And his point is knight a3 is a bait. Okay, this is a pattern which he would know. But after a3, he had also seen that knight e3 would be a fork. So he played this check and this was his point. Wow, that was not at all easy. That was not at all easy to see. By the way, the other results right now. Oh, there is Aronian Wojtaszek still going on, but Aronian wins. Oh my God, Aronian wins fourth in 4 out of 4, and he's going to face now Vishy Anand. Meanwhile, Richard Rapport still struggling. I think he will draw this game against Jan-Krzysztof Duda. Once this game is over, we'll go to the standings. But Aronian is the one who's quickly catching up. Fabiano Caruana has also won his game. Has Caruana won all his games almost, or? And Wesley So drew with Gavrilescu. So Gavrilescu doing really well. By the way, Richard Rapport is a pawn up. Levon is chasing Anand. Yeah, for sure. 2.5. And this is a draw. So with this game over, let's have a look at our standings and see who is leading right now. We have Vishy Anand on 16.5. Pursuing him is Levon Aronian on 14 points. Richard Rapport on 13.5. Wesley So on 13.5. Duda on 13. Caruana on 12.5. Wojtaszek 9. Shevchenko 8.5. Korobov 5.5. Gavrilescu 4. Anand playing amazingly well, winning this game, and now will face Aronian, who has not lost a single game today. So if you see, Aronian has beaten Rapport, he has beaten Wojtaszek, he's beaten Shevchenko, he's beaten Gavrilescu. The other players who have done well in Blitz is actually Fabi. He's on 3.5 out of 4. So these are the standings. Levon, even if he beats Anand, he will reach 15 points. But I think Vishy would really want to not lose. If Vishy beats Levon right now, I think he will build up almost an unassailable lead for today at least. He will win, and let's have a look. The game will start in around 14 minutes from now. So let me just take a short break, yeah, and come back. And meanwhile, I'll put some music for you guys to enjoy. But before that, you can check this out. For all those who have seen, please see it again. If those who have not seen can
ChessBase 16 is a powerful software where you can save your games and analyze them. You can also create databases and manage them. It's a powerful tool for any serious chess player and is used by all the top grandmasters in the world of chess, be it Carlsen, Anand, or any other tournament player. The best database that works along with ChessBase 16 is Mega Database 2022. The database opens inside of ChessBase and has over 9.2 million games, with over 100,000 of them being analyzed and annotated by top grandmasters across the world. The biggest advantage of this database is that you can search any position and get to know who has played it before with the reference feature. You can also prepare professionally against your next opponent, which will help you to gain precious rating points in your next round. Get the ChessBase 16 and Mega Database.
Okay,
now.
guys,
Link
that was
is in the description.
ChessBase 16 and Mega Database. The link is in the description if you want to check it out. Anand's next round is against Levon Aronian, a very big game. So we'll have a look at that. But I just want to take a short break for now, and I will be back in a bit. So Anand will have the white pieces, and here's some music for you. Let me see if this music is good. Sorry guys, I hope you like it. Generally you hate my music, yeah? But this is good, yeah? This is good music. No? Chinmay says, please take tips from Samay. No, Samay music is rap music and all. This is real no. Everyone is like, okay. No. Okay, if no, then we'll put something else. I'll be back in around 5 minutes, right? Now you have everything on the screen. What is Anand's score? Basically he's leading. What are the score of his opponents? Game will start at 7:30 now. Shatranj ka Kamal, should I put? Yeah, okay, let's put Shatranj ka Kamal. Everyone is like, okay, everyone loves Shatranj ka Kamal. Let's do that.
This is the chess song.
How to make it play again?
हाँ चेस में जो ये मजा है इसके इतने सारे
Once it's done,
सीखे खेले
there's no way to make it play again, right?
ChessBase India के संग थोड़ी देगी
But
chess theory, in-depth commentary, यहाँ coverage है बेमिसाल, improvement होगी तेरी, blunder से brilliancy बनना चाहे
Hitman,
तू
thank you so much.
शतरंज का कमाल, शतरंज का कमाल, शतरंज का कमाल, शतरंज का कमाल, शतरंज का कमाल. देख ले मुझे मैं आंखें मिला लूं ट्रैप लगा के मैं नर्वस करा दूं तुझे क्या पता तू करेगा खता फिर मैच की कथा को प्रथा बना दूं टिक टाइम जा रहा है नीचे प्रेशर तुझे मिस्टेक में खींचे गुरुजी ने इसे काबल बनाया पीसेस के यूं खड़े कर दूंगा बगीचे. एक मिनट बगीचे हाँ बगीचे अटैकिंग प्लेयर हो यार ढूंढ ले checks captures threats in this position ढूंढ ले और मन में खोज ले This is the chess song. हाँ चेस में जो ये मजा है, इसके इतने सारे रंग, सीखे खेले आजमाए, ChessBase इंडिया के संग। थोड़ी देखी चेस थ्योरी, इन-डेप्थ कमेंटरी, यहाँ कवरेज है बेमिसाल। इम्प्रूवमेंट होगी तेरी, ब्लंडर से ब्रिलियंसी, बनना चाहे तू भी तार। शतरंज का कमाल, शतरंज का कमाल, शतरंज का कमाल, शतरंज का कमाल, शतरंज का कमाल। देख ले मुझे, मैं आंखें मिला लूं, ट्रैप लगा के मैं नर्वस करा दूं। तुझे क्या पता तू करेगा खता, फिर मैच की कथा को प्रथा बना दूं। टिक टाइम जा रहा है नीचे, प्रेशर तुझे मिसल टेक में खींचे। गुरुजी ने इसे काबल बनाया, पीसेस के यूं खड़े कर दूंगा बगीचे। एक मिनट, बगीचे? हाँ बगीचे, अटैकिंग प्लेयर हो यार। Checks captures threats in this position. हर मन में खोज ले बेस्ट डिसीजन। जब हो जाए सही कैलकुलेशन, इससे बेटर फील नहीं है यार। शतरंज का कमाल, 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 शतरंज का कमाल। This is the chess song. हाँ चेस में जो ये मजा है, इसके इतने सारे रंग, सीखे
Welcome back,
खेले।
guys. I'm here, and we are all set for the big encounter now of the Blitz event, where Levon Aronian has been unbeatable. He has won all his games, and 4 out of 4. Vishy Anand is the leader of the tournament by 2.5 points. Let's go. The next game starts in 2 minutes from now. What are your predictions? Let me put up a poll so that you guys can guess. Who do you think will win? Anand, Aronian, or draw? Let's see. I think the way Aronian is playing this, it won't be easy for Vishy. Anand will open with e4. Ronak won 2 out of 2. Adhiban drew. Arjun Seturaman, Abhijit Gupta, Sankalp Gupta winning. Nihal Gukesh losing. Kshitish Chaudhary, thank you for the update. We have 243 votes. 72% think Anand will win. 8% Aronian. 19% draw. Wow. Okay, let's see. I think draw is very unlikely. Or maybe Anand goes for super solid mode with white and Aronian gets no chance. Let's see. Is age a factor to win blitz games? Yes, Shaurya Singh. I think age plays a big role. Because in blitz, you have to be quick. You have to be on your toes. You have to be spotting tactics. But the way Anand is spotting tactics, looks like he's in phenomenal form. He sacrificed the rook in the last game. Here he sacrificed in against Duda. He sacrificed the knight. He's been playing amazingly well. Shantanu Agnihotri says, "How are you, Sagar Bhai? Watching a stream after months. Okay, you are at the right time, at the right place, at the right time." Okay, we have bishop b5, knight f6, castles. Oh, Vishy is going rook e1 for sure. Rook e1, yes. Knight e5. He's going to play very solidly bishop f1. Oh, Anand. Very pragmatic. Has played the most solid line against Aronian. d4. Because the draw really works out well for Anand. Gunasekar says to win in blitz, you need to be young or Anand. Nice. Okay. Knight f5 or knight e8. Rook e8. c3. Or even bishop f4 is a move here. Let's see which one Vishy chooses. He's thinking a bit. Still theory, guys. Yeah, bishop f4 has been played. And now what happened? Yeah, he took. By the way, taking here is not a great idea, because after c6, c3, bishop f6, bishop takes, pawn takes, you spoil the structure, and white has compensation. So knight e8 played, c3, d5, bishop d3, and guys, we are looking at a draw happening pretty soon here. Knight d2, knight g7, knight f3, or maybe queen e2 with the idea of rook e8, rook e1. Here goes knight f3, bishop f5. Was this the game between Caruana and Anand? Bishop f5, knight f5, and now maybe queen e2. Just get the rook, or queen d2. By the way, guys, this game looks like it's heading towards a draw, but also try to understand how Vishy Anand actually paces himself in a tournament. You know, winning a tournament is not only about winning your games, it's also choosing your battles at the right time and against whom. So Anand clearly recognized that Aronian is in good form, playing really well. He has the white pieces. So having a 2.5 point lead, he decided to just play it very solid. And in such positions, it's very difficult for Vishy to lose. You know, he's just going to draw this without too many difficulties. Queen e2, rook e1. Yeah. Yeah, Pritham Raghuvanshi, you're right. It's like MS Dhoni choosing bowlers to attack. Yeah, it's like you are choosing the right time to launch, and maybe like next round, Vishy will be playing against who is his opponent? Wesley So. So again, I think in that game he will go very solid. Against Richard Rapport, he will anyway have to fight, because that guy will not play like a drawish light. So right now, Anand actually trying to play as per the tournament situation. Queen d2. And now the idea is to take on f6 and then exchange on e8. Actually, bishop f6 would just win. So have to be careful. Maybe queen d8, bishop f6, rook e1 check, queen e1, and then queen f6. takes on e5, rook e5, queen d7. Aronian also playing carefully here. He doesn't want to go wrong in any way. I just take here, maybe take queen e1, offer a draw. It's one of the typical lines in the Berlin where you can make a quick draw, and Anand is aware of it. Okay, maybe queen f4 is also nice, because if you go queen f4, queen e2, check here, king g7, and maybe queen e5, and just trade. Sorry guys for the sound outside. There's a procession going out there. Yogesh says, what a boring game. Yeah, maybe. But, he wants to keep his lead. So, yeah, by the way, queen e1 played by Anand. Actually, this right now, the current moment is a very nice one for all Indian chess fans, because number 1, Anand is playing, number 2, Vidit, number 3, Hari Krishna. They are playing at Chessable Masters. Number 4, Arjun. Number 5, SL Narayanan. They are playing in Sharjah. Then you have Nihal, Gukesh, everyone. Like, out of the top 10, 8 or 9 players are actively playing. So it's amazing. Okay, this is just going to end in a draw. We have super chat by Gupta Bihari, says, I'm 1450. Should I reassess your chess to enhance my positional understanding? It's a good book, Gupta Bihari, and I think you should read it. For sure, it will help you. Also, watch the Improve Your Chess with Sagar 21 episodes, which I did in 2020. And also Imbalance Theory. They are good material to watch along with it. I think both the players know it's going to end in a draw, but still they are playing. The bar didn't even flicker from the start, says being brilliant at chess. Yeah, very stable game. Best design award, yeah. Vishy has to just push this. It would be epic if someone blunders something. You're like, oh, what? Taking is a draw. A4. Nice circular structure. B5. Oh, B5. Careful. There are always these breaks with B4. Let's say, for example, he goes like this. I go here. And now if you go this, then B4 wins. BA. This pawn can be stopped by this king. This pawn cannot be stopped. If you take here, then A5, this pawn cannot be stopped. So, H4, B takes A4, B takes A4, G5. You remember what Anish had said to, who was it? Arjun. He had said that, Arjun, you are still not very good at making draws. Like, you have to be told. You have to, like, basically draw karna hai. Look at how the top players, they draw their games very smoothly. They're not impacted by little things. Like, Look at this game. It was a draw right from the start. We knew it. Nothing went up or down. Very cool game. So draw by Anand, and actually, to tell you the truth, it's a big relief because Aronian was playing really well. So this is a very good result for Vishy. Aronian had won all his 4 blitz games, and I think Anand would still keep that lead. If you look at the standings now, then you will see that he's still in a 2.5 point lead. By the way, Richard Rapport seems to have made a comeback here and has beaten his opponent Anton Korobov. Meanwhile, Caruana versus Gavrilescu. Let's have a look at this game, how it's going. Gupta Bihari says, thanks for helping me. We'll try to reach 2000 soon. All the best, Gupta Bihari. And if you need any further advice, please write to us on ChessBase India at Gmail. And I hope that you will be able to reach there. And really good, you are very serious. That's very nice to know. Chess Knight says, I recently played a national tournament and lost a lot of rating points. But what did you gain in return? By the way, Rook B1. Very powerful move, Rook B1. Because if you play Queen C7 now, then Rook C2. The Queen is basically, all the squares are taken away to defend this. What's happened in the game? Queen E7, there is Knight C6. Wow. So very cool motive. Queen F5, Rook F8 had to be played to defend this. But he went here. Rook B1, Queen C7. And now G6 was played. But okay, this is over in many ways. Maybe Queen takes E6 is just the easiest. He took here. Knight G7. Rook takes C7 here, Knight E5. Caruana beating Gavrilescu. Nice game. Three pawns up. Gavrilescu resigns. That's the end of the 5th round. And Wojtaszek, Duda beats Wojtaszek. Actually, between these two players, both from Poland, generally it's Duda who manages to always beat Wojtaszek. I don't know. It's maybe some kind of, or maybe it's recent games, but I think there's a mental block for Wojtaszek sometimes facing against Duda. Next round, which will start in 15 minutes from now, is Anand versus Wesley So. Another important game for Anand, and he will have the white pieces. And this is exactly the standings right now. On 14.5, we have Rapport, Wesley So, Aronian. On 14, Duda. 13.5, Caruana. And Vishy is on 17 points. Amazing. So Anand is yet to play Wojtaszek, Caruana, Wesley So and Rapport. All tough opponents, yeah. But Anand is still leading by 2.5 points. I don't need to change that. Any questions, guys? Gukesh is losing. That's what you said, right? Should we look at Gukesh's game? Wow. Completely busted. One of those positions where the material is even, but it's just over. Rook F5. Any pawn endgame is losing. So let's say like B5. Queen D7. This is lost. I was thinking you have to be slightly careful here, but not really actually. Like I was, let's say G4 or maybe King H2, B5. Here you shouldn't play B3 because then after C4 black wins. If you take BA4, if you take here, this will hang. Take here, this will hang. But you can just leave it. King G3, you can take, and you're winning because these pawns are just crippled. They can't do anything. Aryan Chopra will hold this. Adiban drew with Salim. Nice finish here. Knight G7. Because if you play Knight D6, what's the move, guys? White to play, black to play. I'll make a new poll now. Yeah, Rook D8, Yash Agarwal, S.S. Crick, Arnab Roy, Singh Devotional, Rayan Mohammad, Chess Knight being brilliant at chess. The move is Rook D8 and actually black wins this. So Adiban had to be careful here and he just offered, he gave checks and he drew the game. So Sethuraman seems to be pushing against Alexei Sarana. This is the Sharjah Masters that way. Oh, and Abhijit Gupta won against Shant Sargsyan. Oh, what a blunder. Actually, the position was minus, but King F7 would have kept the game going. But he just played this and bishop g6 with a forced mate here. Can't stop it. Amazing. Arvind pawn down, but should we draw? Arjun better, but maybe not enough to win, huh? Perhaps draw. But okay, he's fighting still, can't say anything. Nihal Sareen. Oof. Oof. How did Nihal land up in a lost position? Because it's not even like the position looks very unusual. Looks like a very normal position where Nihal got what? Hello, Nihal. What is this? King e2. Why not castle? Maybe he didn't like queen d3 after that. But this king e2 is just too much. Bishop d7. Queen a5. Maybe a mouse slip in over the board game. Huh? He just got outplayed here. I mean, I'll be very surprised if Nihal manages to hold this. He's 2 pawns down and very close to designable position. But he is Nihal, yeah. He might do something like rook d1, rook d7. He might get in. Let's see if he can hold this. Sankalp Gupta winning against Begmuratov Humyun. Let's go back to the game of Anand and Wesley So. Hi Sagar, is it more difficult to play blitz or classical with growing age? What do you think Anand would be more comfortable? I think in classical games, what you get is more time. So you don't have to have like super quick reflexes, quick thinking. But also there you have to calculate for long hours. So if the game goes into deep end game, it could become very difficult. And blitz, you have to be very quick. Sometimes intuitive thinking can help Vishy because he has so many years of experience. But I think it depends a lot on the position you get. Like when Anand played Carlsen in 2013 World Championship, it was this fact that, you know, taking him into long end games is what Carlsen did in classical games. And Anand would at some point get tired and make some mistakes. So that happened in classical games. While here also, I mean, it's already 2.5 hours into the tournament that we have begun. And maybe Vishy might be feeling a bit tired, but also he's taken some good decisions like a quick draw with Aronian here. So I would say maybe a tad bit, I can't say, but I think it depends a lot on the positions. If I say blitz, I might certainly think, but what about such positions in classical? And if I talk about classical, then I might think, what about, you know, so I can't, you get it, yeah? Anand Narayan says, can Vishy change mind and play the Olympiad? I think very less chances of that happening. But yeah, let's hope that the other people in our team do well. Vishrut Krishna says, what do you think about Nihal's performance of late? Scores and results seem a bit low for even his current rating, let alone his rapid growth. But which tournament did he play poorly, Vishrut? Like, I mean, let me just see his FIDE profile. I'm not counting the Rapid and Blitz games, right? We are talking about classical chess, right? Because we want him to reach, let's say, if at the top in classical and Blitz, then So if we look at his progress, then in the last, he has played a few events. I'm just checking which ones. So firstly, he beat his first top 10 player recently. Yeah, at the Sunway Sieges, he didn't do so well. Right, he lost 6 elo points. Then in Capel de la Grande, he lost 4 elo points. Then in Cannes Festival, he lost 4 elo points. In Belgrade tournament, he lost. No, he gained points there. Yeah, he gained 10 elo points there. So I think there he played well. He managed to beat Nodirbek. He managed to beat Ivic. So that was a good event for Nihal. And then in Fagerness, he lost 5 elo points. And at Menorca, he lost 3 elo points. He won 3 elo. Yeah, so it has been slow for sure. And also in Bundesliga, he beat Mamedyarov and drew with Hari Krishna. So this is the phase. Actually, such phases are very helpful if you are working on your chess and weeding out your weaknesses. And I think that's what Nihal has been doing. I saw his one Instagram post on his, and I don't think he handles it like completely, but at least that post looked like it was from him. I don't know, what did he write was yeah, something I forgot, and it was like, a lot to learn from this experience or something like that he had written. And yeah, well, let's hope that, I mean, it's not the worst performance. Like many people in such things lose rating. He's just losing like 2-3 elo points, gains a few elo points, so he's there around 2650. Kimaya says, how are you doing? Well, Kimaya, I'm doing well. I just have some cold. I don't know how it happens, like right in the middle of the day I'm okay, and then all of a sudden the cold hits me, and then but I'm doing very well. Okay, Anand, you think 79% people think Vishy Anand will win, 7% think Wesley So will win, 14% think draw. I feel 79% chances of this ending in a draw. If Wesley is not very ambitious, then Vishy would be happy with a draw, I feel. Like the same line will happen. E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6, bishop B5, knight F6, castles, knight E4, rook E1. This might happen all over again. Anindya Basu says, why would you play for a draw with white? Because you are leading the tournament. It's the tournament situation. Yes, Venkateshwar Reddy, thank you for your suggestion to use Flemish nasal spray. I will try to get it. You had written before as well. Harmik Doshi says, I think Wesley will try for a revenge. Let's see. I think Wesley needs to buck up, because if you look at the standings, Wesley So is right now on number 3 position. So for him, beating Anand is important. So maybe that will spur Wesley to fight now. Mukund Krishna says, how excited are you for Norway chess? Yeah, I'm very much excited because, very interesting lineup. Magnus playing, Anand is there. You also have Rajabov there. Very good tournament. Will be great fun. Okay, guys, let's get ready for this game. Wesley So with the black pieces, Vishy Anand with white. I think Vishy might go for e4. Starting off with e4 is natural. Anand doesn't like to mix it up too much in his opening, yeah. He just stays simple. Rakshit says Vishy will go c4. No, Rakshit, I don't think so. Vishy likes to continue what's working for him. You know, e4 has worked for him. Okay, he lost to Gavrilescu, but yeah, e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5 as promised. I think if Wesley goes a6, he's knight f6, and Vishy goes not castle, he goes d3. Wow. So Vishy Anand doesn't go for this drawish line. Knight c3. Okay. This is what happened with Duda as well. Knight d7, bishop e3. This is much more fighting. This is much more fighting. We are going to have a good game. Let's see. So, white has nice pawns here. 8 pawns. Black has double pawns. Black has the bishop pair, but Vishy offers a trade of bishops. Queen e7. Now castle by Anand. Looks normal, natural and good. Castles. h3. Wesley So thinking here. Oh, he goes b6. Interesting. Queen e1 by Vishy. He wants to put his queen on g3. Attack here. Put pressure on the center. Bishop b7. Queen g3, f6. But now knight h4. Generally to f6 you want to go, okay, a3, what? With the idea of b4. Will Wesley go castles? Oh, a5 means he's not going to long castle now. a5 played there. Anand has pretty decent score with Wesley in Blitz, I think. But Wesley is not a very strong Blitz player. Like, it's not his forte. So, let's see now. Do you go rook b1 with the idea still pursuing for b4? Or do you go rook a d1 with the idea of trying for d4? Or you go knight h4 with the idea of knight f5. But then knight h4, he'll go g6. So knight d2 has been played here by Anand. Where is this knight going? What is the plan of the knight? Maybe knight c4 is where he wants to put the knight. h5, Wesley burning his bridges on both sides. I don't think he can long castle because of b4 ideas. And now his short castle options are also gone after h5. So Anand says, I'm coming back. My knight is coming back because now it can sit on g4 and there is no g6 or f5. So quick thinking by Vishy. But Wesley says, no knight h4 business, Anand. I'm going g5. So this game is far from draw. Yeah, now they are actually fighting. h4. Now g4. But g4 would mean that knight d2, rook f2, knight f1, knight g3, knight f5. You know, like maneuvering. So rook g8, he's kept it there. Now you can take at the e5 pawn, becomes slightly weak. But for now, the pawn is defended and Vishy gets knight h4. You can't take it because g8 is hanging. If you lock castle, the knight is going to move to f5. He locked castles. Vishy plays his knight to f5. And now where does the queen go? Queen e6. Looks possible. He plays it. But now Vishy can go b4. Start opening lines against the black king. Well, his own king is not particularly safe, but at least it's not so simple to see how black is going to open lines against the white king. But with b4, already the a file has opened up. King b8. Wesley is like, with my bishop on b7, I have nothing to worry here. My king is absolutely safe. Maybe Anand can go rook a4 and rook a1. Try to double the rooks down the a file. Also, he can then get his queen over here and try to triple. But in the meantime, of course, black will try to do something of his own like h4, g4 and try to open up on this side. Queen e1 played. Ooh, Vishy is going queen b1 and queen, or maybe queen c1 and here. But Wesley hardly cares for it. He goes h4. It's a race, guys. Wesley trying to open up the position from the queen side, from the king side. Anand going on the king side. Queen b1. Is Vishy trying to actually exchange the queens and go into an endgame? That seems like a good strategy because in an endgame, the e5 pawn is slightly weak. The knight on f5 is very strong. Knight to f6 and now queen a2. Looks good. Looks good. But queen a2 actually is a good move. Let's see if Vishy does that. He plays it, exchanges, rook takes. Now Anand has a great position. Time-wise, what is the situation? We hardly looked at the time. Vishy has 2 minutes 52. Wesley has 3 minutes 5 seconds. Almost even on the clock. Now I want to go with my other rook to a1, but basically there's nothing much on the a file. So perhaps it might make sense to start playing on the f file. Look, knight g4 is a great square for the knight, but the e3 pawn is defended by the knight. Maybe Wesley wants to go bishop c8, kick this knight off and take this one. Anand goes rook f3. What is his plan? I do not know what he's aiming for here. Actually, what's the point of rook f3? Rook f8, maybe rook a1, rook f1. Yeah, he wants to maybe double there. Instead of rook f3, there were other possibilities actually. Like maybe knight b1, knight d2, knight f3, getting the knight there. But okay, rook a1 has been played. Bishop c8. It's a nice move. Yeah, takes, and now you have to take with the pawn. Knight f6, and now an important move here. Can we go e4? Actually, g4 is a big threat. So can we go rook h3? Look at this, rook h3. He goes e4. Now g4 can be played. If he had got rook h3, and then if he goes rook h8 with the idea of here, you can go g3 and you are just in time to break this structure. So a very subtle idea, but okay, after b4, e4, I'm a little worried about rook d4 attacking the b4 pawn. Let's see. First of all, g4 by Wesley So. I think he's getting things rolling here. He has a nice majority here. Also, the b4 pawn could become weak. So first of all, Vishy goes rook e3. 2 minutes 9 seconds. King b7. Maybe to get the rook from the a file. Rook e1. Anand staying steady now. Will Vishy be able to hold this? Because Wesley So seems to be playing very well here. He goes g3. Now it's time for this knight to find some greener pastures. Where does this knight go? Like knight b1, knight d2, knight c4, knight f3. Yeah, it has to go here eventually. But you know, you are afraid that knight b1, rook d4 will attack this. And knight d2 will attack this. But then knight f3 already attacks here and here. But Vishy doesn't go for it. He goes rook a1. And now can you go rook a8? Who benefits from the exchange of a pair of rooks here? Rook a8. It seems like the position still remains around equal, but maybe Wesley has more chances if his rook can penetrate via the a file and then attack these pawns here. His knight on f6 is an absolute beast because it not only is well placed, it's also blockading this passed pawn. It's an excellent piece. Also, this g3 pawn always creates backrank issues with the king. So all in all, although the computer thinks this position is equal, I feel that Vishy is in some trouble. Well, Anand taking his time here. He plays rook fc1. Plays his rook there. Rook h8 by Wesley. Takes. One second. Vishy has something up his sleeve. King f1, king e2. And then the rook can swing over here. Wow, if that happens, Vishy would have solved almost all his problems. Good move. Now knight d1. Oh, finds another classy move. How does Anand manage to get an advantage all of a sudden? Can't understand. If I understood, I would have been the 5-time world champion. What is he playing? Like rook a4, this is hanging. He can give it up actually. He can go king e2. Rook takes b4, knight e3. Yeah, he plays it. He understands it. Knight e3, c2 is defended. Next move, rook h1. This pawn hangs. Then the rook gets over. Move over you, knight. My f pawn needs to queen. Wow, and suddenly the rook on b4 has eaten a lot. For it to go back like this takes 3 moves, while the white rook is very agile and can pick up this. Brilliant play by Vishy Anand. And now Wesley getting desperate, playing c4. You can take knight takes c4, but his idea is knight takes e4, but there is rook h4. Suddenly there is a big 4 pieces on the 4th rank, and there is knight d6 check in the air. Vishy takes with the pawn. Is that a good move? He takes here. This pawn is absolutely brilliant. It's a very strong pawn. And this rook looks very silly. It's just in no man's land. It doesn't know what to do. Now the knight is hanging. Where does this knight go? Knight f6, knight d6. Where should you go? That is the question. 50 seconds for Wesley So. 39 for Anand. Mistakes do happen when you're under a minute. But here it seems like Vishy has things under control. If knight d6, he's going to go rook g4, chop this pawn off, get 2 connected passers and start pushing them. 33 seconds for Wesley. Now he goes below Vishy's time. He goes knight f6, but now rook h6. Kick the knight away. What's the plan after rook h6? Where is the knight going? Anand taking his time. He's also down to 27 seconds. King f3 plays Vishy. He improves his king position. Maybe he just wants to win this pawn. Be calm. Anand knows when is the time to actually speed up, when is the time to actually play calmly. He will take the pawn. He'll simply take the pawn, I think. Also, rook h6, very much possible. Sorry, rook h6, not rook h5. He plays rook h6. Knight goes back. Can we go f6? No, no need to hurry. Takes the pawn. Comes back with his king. All good. g4, g5, g6 incoming, guys. Vishy's pawns about to queen. Wesley down to 10 seconds. 6, 5. What is he going to do? I think he's at loss for a move here. He's going to resign or what? Oh, he resigns. He resigns, or did he lose on time? I don't know, but his position is totally lost. g4, g5 was coming up, and Vishy Anand has managed to beat Wesley So. What a beautiful game this was. Actually, tremendous game. And I think Anand really understood what was happening in the position much better than Wesley So, which is really, really commendable, because at some point, even I thought that the b4 pawn is a weakness, but Vishy really understood that b4 pawn was not the most important thing. It was the h4 pawn. So you see here, after he took, he brought his king over here. This is the key move. The idea is that you bring your knight to e3. You know, just look at how he arranges his pieces. Gives up the b4 pawn, not important. Brings his knight so that it defends the weakness on c2, very important. And then switches over to the h file, when after this takes here. And I think the conversion was very good, because even this move, like many times you are in a hurry, you take here, but then after cd3, suddenly this rook is no longer looking stupid. It goes here, gives a check. So Anand took care that even at the cost of his pawns looking a little bit silly and doubled and crippled, he managed to actually find this way. And Wesley resigned here. Maybe he lost on time. I am not sure, but his position is just lost. And Vishy Anand, you had mentioned 83% of you that Anand will win in the poll in the chat, and you guys were absolutely right. Vishy Anand has beaten Wesley So once again. He beat him in Rapid with the black pieces. Now he beats him in Blitz. Let's put Wesley So's name here. Anand wins, and he's actually right now on 3 out of 5 in this tournament. The other results in this round is Caruana winning another game against Shevchenko, Richard Rapport making a comeback win, Radoslav Wojtaszek and Anton drawing. And what about Aronian? Aronian draw for Levon Aronian, which means that in terms of standings, Anand still leads by 2.5 points. Let's see who are the other ones who are trailing him. Vishy Anand on 18 points, Richard Rapport on 15.5. So only one person who is 2.5 points behind Anand. And then Aronian on 15, Caruana on 14.5, Wesley So on 14.5. Wesley was beaten by Vishy right now. Duda already beaten by Anand on 14.5. So Anand has 2.5 points lead still over the field, which is not going to be easy for people to catch him now, considering also the fact that he's playing so well. But the next round, once again, a very, very important one, because he is facing Fabiano Caruana with the black pieces, guys. So that there is my poll now. This is going to be difficult for Vishy because he not only has the black pieces. Let me make a poll here. Who do you think will win? Will it be Caruana, or will it be Anand, or will it be a draw? I'm asking you in the poll. Please do send in your votes. And also, guys, I have a small request for you. You can like this stream. You can also subscribe to ChessBase India if you haven't already. And after the stream ends tonight, if someone has the time and energy, can you please put the timestamps of each round? Like round number 1 starts at this, round number 2. So then I can kind of put it in the description along with whoever puts it, and also pin that out, because then people would know exactly where to find all the games today, because there have been breaks. Kimaya asks, how are you doing? Well, Kimaya, I'm doing... Oh, I responded to that. So thank you for that message, Kimaya. Rapport also now 2 wins in 2 games. So he's also making a comeback. But now there are 3 rounds only left today. So we will be witnessing right now Caruana Anand. Then we will have Richard Rapport Anand. And last round we will have Wojtaszek Anand. So 2 very important games. Next round will start in 11 minutes from now. And guys, did you enjoy this game? What did you feel? Can you let me know in the chat? What were your feelings like? We have what? 1,700 likes. Guys, let's get to 2,000 likes there. And after this game, Wesley will be like, what did I do wrong? Yeah, sure. Says Rakshit. Good game, says Faizan Vlogs. Arvind Chess says Anand will win this championship. ऋतुराज पाटिल says, अरे सागर भाई आपको आईपीएल का कमेंट्री कॉन्ट्रैक्ट देना चाहिए. अरे आईपीएल क्या, क्रिकेट सही. There are a lot of things that I learned from cricket commentary. Yeah? Tony Gray, Jeffrey Boycott, all these. Harsha Bogle. Why is Nawara in the photo above you? Yeah, that is true. Why did Abhyudaya put Nawara there? I have no idea. Who is missing from there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, yeah. Actually, Nawara is just an additional player. Good. Who spotted it actually? Avinash SP. Well spotted. Yeah, there needed to be 8 players and Navarra is extra. D. Sandeep says there's so much for young brigade to learn from Vishy, how to convert it smoothly. Yeah, I agree with you actually. Generally, when I'm commentating and I'm able to see the bar and everything, generally the mistakes happen around here, at this point. Like you have an advantage, knight d1, good move, king e2, again a good move, because sometimes you play a move like rook b1 trying to protect, and then suddenly rook a2 tries to attack here. Actually even rook b1 was fine, but king e2 very clinical, and then knight e3, and now this move c4. This is where things can go horribly wrong if you rush and then allow this rook b2 check. And Vishy could have gone knight c4 as well, but he saw that there is knight e4, rook h4, and by the way, if you move anywhere else, then knight d6 check and you win the rook. But there is knight c3 check, king d2, knight d5, and okay, even this is winning, f6, because if you take knight d6 and I win your rook, uh, this should be also a clean way. But I think pawn takes pawn was very nice. Takes, and then king f3. This was again great. I was thinking, why not this move? And maybe he didn't want knight to come back here, so that's why he played king f3. It was a very calm move. Wojtaszek missing in the picture. Okay. Yeah. Correct. Again, who is it? Om Shri Prasad. Well done. Wojtaszek is missing in the picture and there is Navara. So I'll ask Abhyuday to correct it. Okay, the next round will begin in some time from now. Yeah, this is over the board tournament, and right now, we have crossed 9,05,400 subscribers. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Guys, Anand Caruana, very important game. About to begin in 7 minutes from now. Naveen Rawat's. What did Naveen Rawat say? 1 second. No, not sure. There's a conversation going on in the chat. Vice President Unstoppable, not Vice President, Deputy President. Vice President is a nominal title. Deputy President means if the FIDE President is not available, then the Deputy President has all the powers of the FIDE President. So that is the difference. Yeah, that's a good question, Sandeep. He says, as there is time in between the games, do the players go and check the games played within the tournament to see what they played? I think it's a trade-off. Yeah, if you're going to check all the games, you're going to lose some energy. So Anand generally prefers to carry his laptop. That's what he said during one World Blitz tournament, that he prefers not to be distracted. So he carries his laptop, but he doesn't see much chess. He just, I think, goes away somewhere and sits alone so that people do not disturb him. And the more you talk, the more energy you have to give up. So this is another small advice to everyone. If you're playing some very intense tournaments, try to save every ounce of energy for your calculations, for thinking and everything, by not talking too much with others, by not spending too much time in the heat and so on. So these are little things which add up at the end, and maybe it doesn't show on day 1 or day 2, but it definitely starts to show on the last day of the tournament. Dhruv Singh says, Sagar, do you listen to other chess podcasts like Ben Johnson or Nielsen, Peter Heine Nielsen? Yes, Ben Johnson, I was actually there on that podcast. I was once the guest, and he does some very good podcasts. He has interviewed so many people, so I enjoy listening to him. Peter Heine Nielsen and his team, I think Laura Fresinet and Jan Gustafsson, have started this new podcast called Chicken something, right? It's an interesting podcast where they talk. I haven't listened to it fully, but I have heard bits of it, and very interesting. Pancham Singh says, hearing your commentary, my son, 8-year-old, wants to learn chess. That's the biggest compliment to me, and I think this is the best thing that I think commentary does, is many more people start to play chess, and that's what I want. Yesterday at the chess club, I met two kids who had come with their parents. I think they were around 8 years old, and they said that their parents said that we hear your voice so many times in our house, in the commentary and in videos and so on. And I think he was meeting me for the first time. So it was very nice to know that a lot of people follow chess, improve at chess because of it. Uh, Anand Narayan says, Vishy doing well at 52. Can you try GM now? Anand Narayan, for me, it's not about age. For sure, I think it's more to do about priorities. And right now, my priority has always been to work on chess, to spread chess, to indulge in projects which will improve the possibilities of chess getting more popularity, helping other chess players with the Helpchess Foundation, and building up the ChessBase India Academy, and so many different things. So I think that takes a lot of time. That's the main reason. I don't see age as the main reason. Yeah, Ruturaj Patil, yes, a little bit of cold, but Vishy's games keeps us going. In fact, I remember in 2017, it happened in December, and it was in Bhopal. Amruta and I were we had started our 1 year nomadic journey. We were in Bhopal at this Bhopal International GM tournament we were covering. And on the last day, we got the news that Amruta's grandmother had passed away. And of course, we were a little bit low because we didn't know whether we should go back. And the next tournament after Bhopal was, I think, Delhi. Or Mumbai, maybe there was Mumbai. And but on that same night, Vishy was playing at the World Rapid Championship, and he managed to win that tournament. There was Carlson there were many players. In fact, he played a tiebreak with Fedosiev and he won it. And I remember that for those 2 hours when we were watching his games and writing about it and tweeting about it, and in our room in Bhopal, we just forgot everything. I think this is what Anand's games do to you, and that's when you realize when people say, "Oh, Vishy is an emotion" and stuff like that. It's like this, when you watch his games, you enjoy it so much that you forget some of your worries, some of your things. TM says, I'm from Sangli. I used to study in the academy where Vishy sir used to come and play. Arey, nice. Standings you want to see, yeah? These are the standings. The standings are the following. No, Anand is not leading by 4 points. He's leading by 2.5 only right now. So, okay, the game is about to begin now. So let's focus here. He's playing against one of the best players in the world, Fabiano Caruana. This is a very important game. Actually, it's funny that Anand has only lost one game today, and that too against the last seed of the tournament, Gavrilescu. Oh, and Soumya Dutt with a nice thing here. Caruana has scored 5.5 out of 6, and Vishy plays Caruana's favorite weapon against him, which is the Petrov. Caruana likes to play the Petrov with black, and Anand playing it against him is quite dangerous because Caruana would know many of the intricacies as white. So the main line has been played here. D4, D5, Bishop D3, Bishop D6, castles, castles, C4, C6. Now knight C3 is the main move. He goes rook E1, Bishop F5, Queen B3. Ooh, isn't this Queen D7? Okay. First of all, you can't take and Queen takes D5 because of Bishop H2 and the Queen would hang. But now Knight C3 attacks it here. Okay, you can take. I think this is the game. This is that Nepo versus Carlsen variation, right? Knight C3, Bishop F5, Queen F5, Queen B7, and this is the way. Yeah, Vishy has to take Queen F5, and now instead of Queen B7, he goes B takes C3, and now B6 was played by Nepo. This is exactly what is played here. Pawn takes, and yeah, Queen B5. Queen D7 was played. Once again, A4 was played by Magnus here, but Rook B1. Okay, this is Fabi's novelty, I think. Rook B1. And that's why you can see Vishy stopping here. If I remember correctly, it was A4, Queen B5, AB5, A5 and Knight H4. This is how the World Championship game went. But after Rook B1, Knight C6 has been played here by Anand. There were other moves actually, like Rook D8 was also possible, but it's very difficult to know exactly what is the right way to continue when you are not prepared. So G3, nice move by Fabi. He is just taking care of the back rank weaknesses in his camp. Puts his pawn there. Bishop C7 by Anand, and now the bishop can come to A3 and attack here. Also, by the way, G3 had a tactical point not to forget, which is to take the pawn. Bishop H2 would no longer be a check and the queen would not be lost. So G3, Bishop C7. Yeah, black has an isolated queen pawn, Sachin, but also the C3 pawn is slightly weak. Also, time-wise, both players have equal time. This is a very interesting position filled with imbalances. And let's see who's able to come out on top. I think Anand would be feeling confident about his chances because he has things going on for him. He's well developed. He's going to play rook e8 next. Plays c4. Nice move. Because if you take dc4, then white wins with one move. Guys, can you find it? Arvind Chess, Gaurang Sharma, Vishal Kalyan Sethi. D5 is the move. The knight has to move and you are going to lose the queen. So like if you go knight b8, bishop a3 already, and black is in big trouble. So c4, actually Vishy has to think very carefully here and has to play a move like rook d8. And the point is, after take here, you mustn't take queen d5. You think everything is fine because queen d5, rook d5, but here white has a winning move. Can you find it? Can you find the winning move here? Sandeep Roy says all those teenagers in India who Anand paired with are going to take credit to have prepped Anand for such a fantastic performance. Yeah, why not? By the way, rook e8, so many of you have found it. Bhavesh Das, Raj Kansara, Aditya Vardhan Kochar, rook e8 check. And you must have to take, otherwise you're mated and you lose the queen. So that's not a good move. But Vishy does play rook fd8. And the point is that after takes here, you move your knight away. And then you take with the knight. So that is the key point of rook fd8. Nice move by Anand. He thought for a lot of time. He was 4 minutes 11 seconds. He came down to 2 minutes 49 seconds. So he thought for a minute and 20 seconds there. Let's see how this goes now. Maybe bishop g5 is the move that Fabi can play, forcing f6 and making some small concessions in the position. I think cd5 looks tempting, but Anand is of course not going to fall in this trap. He will play his knight back to e7. And if you play any other move, then I'm going to take. Now d5 is not possible. Oh, d5 is possible. Not queen d5, again rook e8. But so I'll take d5, I'll play knight e7 again. Yeah, Jakob Sebastian, you're right. Bishop g5 is what might happen. But also Caruana taking a lot of time. Caruana was at 3 minutes 53 seconds. Now he's down to 2 minutes 10 seconds. He's thought for like 1 minute 40 seconds and goes bishop g5, which is clearly the best move, but so much time used in thinking. f6, bishop d2, right move, and now Vishy will go knight e7. I think that's the most logical move, offering a queen trade and also defending the d5 pawn. Yes, knight e7, good move played. And now I think he would want to keep the queens on the board, because if you take rook takes, that is an easy position for Anand to navigate. You know, he has nice pieces, everything is good. Queen b2, yeah, that's possible. Or queen b4, keeping an eye here with your rook and queen. Oh, he goes c5, but now Vishy will take this. Queen b5, rook b5, and now king f7. Typical Vishy move, defending this, bringing the king in the position. I'm sure he's going to play this. You know, just keep everything huddled together. That's his style. You know, king f7 is also a good move. Bring the king to in the center towards the endgame. Plays it. a4. You know, there are some moves. It's like this chess feel, right? You have. And Anand's chess feel is so good. He can find these moves very easily. Okay, now what? This might be a moment to think. Should you go like rook a b8? Should you take on c5? Yeah, he plays rook a b8. Nice. Again, one of the best moves in the position. Fantastic play by Vishy. Very not giving chances to his opponents. Yeah, I think the only opponent who got away with Vishy, not, you know, Vishy giving him chances, was Gavrilescu. Otherwise, Vishy has been really very solid. Okay, bishop e3. Now take. Things can get ugly for Caruana, because see, after you take, the knight can sit here blockading the passed pawn. Knight is a good blockader of passed pawns, and then you can start pushing your central pawn. So the first step is to take here, because after takes, if he takes with the rook, then bishop d6, and already black is doing well. Okay, Anand goes knight f5. B takes c5 was better, but okay, knight f5 has been played. Gauransh Sharma asks a good question. We'll look at it, Gauransh, later after the game. Rookie b1 has been played. And now, can we take here, or now it's looking risky? Because take, d takes c5, keeping the pressure in the position. So Vishy goes g5. He's not really worried. If you take here, he'll take with the rook. So g5 gaining space here. I think Fabi will transfer his knight from e1 to d3. Yes, he plays it. Knight e1, good move here. And then he will get it to d3. Again, 1 minute for Caruana, 56 seconds for Anand. Vishy has a very good position here on the board. It's around equal, but it's very difficult to keep everything like the status quo. You want to do something, so he goes back. But what's his plan here? Because knight d3 is a very simple move for white to play. White moves are easier to play somehow. King e6. And now Fabi can go knight b4. There the pressure is mounting on Vishy Anand. Knight to b4, knight a6 could be a threat when you take here. And this is the point where things can go downhill now. Rook bc8, maybe the best move in the position, but knight a6. Caruana turning on the heat. B takes c5, rook b7, attacking the bishop. That could be a good move. Also knight takes c5 check can be a nice move, but rook b7 will really put the pressure on Vishy. Not at all easy to find that move though, because cd4 could be a threat, and yeah, he finds it. Oof. Well, you can't take, I guess, cd4 because maybe just bishop d4. He plays bishop d6 and now d takes c5. D takes c5, bishop e5. Fabi is pushing there because he would have a passed pawn. Okay, you shouldn't take with the knight because then bishop takes c5. Yeah, pawn takes, bishop e5, and now maybe f4, kicking the bishop away. Oh, but he made a mistake. He played rook takes a7 here, and now d4. Good move by Anand. Bishop d2. Knight jumps in. Vishy has a very nice central structure here. His king is also pretty okay placed. Can get into trouble though now with rook b6 check, king d5, c6 coming in. It looks like black is doing well, but actually white pawn is very dangerous. c6, c7 with this knight here. This game can go either way with just 16 seconds left. White is clearly better, but Vishy moving in with his king. I think the engine evaluation can be a bit misleading here, because how do you win? Oh yes, you go c7 and rook b8, but he goes rook d7. That's also a nice move by Fabiano Caruana. Now where does Anand go? Knight d5, and you have to play rook b7. He finds it. Excellent move. You can't take the pawn. Your rook is hanging, and if you take, he goes rook e8, c7, pushing the pawn. Excellent chess by Fabi, showing why he's one of the best players in the world, finding one good move after another. Now bishop e1, but tables have turned with rook e6 now attacking here. One wrong move. King f1 was the best move there, but knight c3 not the best. You see the bar going up and down. Anything can happen. Knight e4, rook b8, check, king d3. I think this time Vishy is going to lose this. Knight b4. Maybe it's some kind of a mating net. Oof, what happened? a6, knight c3. Oh, what? Lost on time. Ah, lost on time. He lost on time. Vishy lost on time. Vishy lost on time. Ah. The game was not over there. The game was not over. What happened was, actually here, at this point, white was winning. But g4 was played, and bishop e1 was a mistake because it allowed bishop takes c7 with threat here. But Vishy missed it, and he played knight c3, which allowed king f1, knight e4, rook b6, check, king c4, and here it was looking like game over because rook d5 check and king a4 and knight d3. White is completely in control, has c7, has this pawn down the board and everything, but he played a6, which was a mistake, knight c3, and now b4 is hanging. And I think Anand, when he played knight c3, he just got a little bit late in making this move, and that's the reason why he lost on time, and now b4 was hanging. So here the game could have gone, I think, like king b4, rook b6 check, king c4, rook b8 with the idea of a8 queen. You take here, a b8, queen, rook takes b8, another queen, bishop b8. Yes, you are exchanged down, and maybe white is winning, but not so clear, yeah, because this d pawn should be winning for white, but there was still some play left. But with this, Fabiano manages to beat Vishy. It was a very, very intense fight. And I think Fabi, this is where I think a little bit of, if Vishy was young at this point, he would not have lost on time. You know, it's like those nerves and those reflexes and all are faster. And I'll just look at the standings. Here, Richard Rapport has closed the lead by half a point. Caruana on 15 and half, Aronian on 15 and half. Next round is Richard Rapport and Anand. Important game. Will Vishy be able to come out of what happened right now? Because this is an all important clash between Richard and Anand. Let me just change the thing here. Anand is leading now by 2 points, not by 2.5. And he will face Richard Rapport in exactly 13 minutes from now. What would Vishy have played in the position if he was younger? No, I don't know about that. But I'm just saying that losing on time with a 2-second increment does happen often, but I think Anand in general, the way he used to play chess, he would very rarely lose on time. Vishy versus Rapport is now the next game. So Anand will have the white pieces this time. Acha, Karthik says Vishy was flagged 3 moves before only. Okay, got it. That's nice to know. I'm going to end this poll. 67% people thought Anand would win, 12% thought Caruana, 21% thought draw, but that didn't happen. Anand, those 12% people were right who thought Caruana will win. And now making a new poll for the penultimate round. I think what I will do is I will stream this. By the way, Anand Rapport, or will it be a draw? So I'll stream this next round between Anand and Rapport. Then the last round is between Wojtaszek, and then I will start the new stream of Champions Chess Tour, and in that we will in between see that Blitz game, because the last round here will start at 9:30 and there the game will also start at 9:30. So we'll look at in that stream, because then to set up that stream and all takes time. Kshitij Chaudhary with some very good information. Kshitij, thank you for putting up all this information on here. Sharjah Masters, Abhijit Gupta and Raunak on 2 out of 2. Adhiban and Sethuraman, Aryan, Abhimanyu, Arvind on 1.5. Surya, Arjun, Gukesh, SL Narayan and Sankalp Gupta on 1 out of 2. And Nihal and Aditya Mittal on half out of 2. Got it. Pritham Raghuvanshi says, I find Rapport scary because it's very unusual with uncertain with him. You are right, Pritham. That is true. Lionel Witherspoon, thank you for becoming a member. Sorry guys, I just had a small disconnection, but I'm back. All is well. So Vishy will have the white pieces against Rapport. Most likely e4. I don't even know what Rapport will play. He can play the French. He can play the Sicilian. Most likely he will not play e4, e5 because he doesn't like playing that, very solid style. I think either French or Sicilian. Either of the two he'll go. Gauran Sharma, your question. Rohit Sanjeev, thank you for becoming a member. We have had many members today. We have had how many? Three new members today. So thank you so much for all those who are becoming members, because all the amount that we get, it's roughly around 50,000 rupees, are used to support uh, talents in Indian chess. I have had articles written till December 2021 on whom we have supported. In January, we are going to support, and I'm going to, I've already decided, a girl called Sarayu Velpula. She is from Andhra Pradesh. She lives in Warangal. She's the former two-time national champion under 13 and under 11. I think under 13 and also under 11. And she comes from a very humble background, and she's trained by two very competent IMs, Ravi Teja and CRG Krishna, and she's in need of funds. So we are going to support her. And in the next month, we are going to support a girl called Mritika Malik. She is the current national under 14 champion of India, and she is also comes from a humble background. You can see her interview on our channel, also her father's interview. She comes from West Bengal, and so all of these players whom we support are able to play more tournaments, take more training because of yours. And the amount is around from 50,000 rupees to 1 lakh, between that, based on how many members become every month. So I really request you, if you want to support in any way, think about becoming a member on this channel, and it would be great. Every month we publish all the members on our news page, so you can consider. By the way, thank you all for who have been members on this channel. So the question that was asked by Gauransh, and Gauransh, let's check out your question, was Caruana. Yeah, here, right? You had asked. So you had asked that here a4, bishop e3, what would happen if I take, and now after knight c6, knight d4, right? This is what you had asked for. And I think this is one way, like this is possible to play. This is equal, but even better could be to start with a6, questioning where the rook goes. By the way, Sudeep Datta, thank you for becoming backer of Indian Chess. Very kind of you. 4th member for today. And then after you take, I take back. And now I'm planning to go maybe knight c6, maybe not. If you go knight d4, then I can already start attacking the a4 pawn, putting pressure here. Bishop can come to e5. And all in all, this, I don't need to even go here. So the main plan was not to go instantly there, but to just take control of the b file. So if you go here and go rook b b1, now I can go here. And if you go knight d4, I will take. And now rook takes, and rook b8. And in this endgame, it is quite possible that you are in some trouble because your pawn could become weak. Sorry, king c6, and then the bishop can attack here. Sudeep, thank you. Says appreciate your work of helping chess players. Thank you so much, Sudeep, for becoming a member. Soham Pandya says, any thoughts on Nihal versus Arjun JSCC final? It's on 6th of June and I'm very excited for it. I'll be covering it most likely with Amruta. And I still feel when it comes to online chess and bullet, Nihal is slightly better, I feel, than Arjun. But it will be a close match. It reminds me of the finals of the Super Juniors Cup, if you remember, which we had held through ChessBase India. And Nihal had won that tournament, but the finals was with Arjun, and we had the Wolf Pack commentating on the finals with Rajabov, Anish, Vidit. What a moment that was. Almost like 20,000 people watching it, and Nihal had won that finals. It was amazing. I don't know if you guys were there. Vishy versus Rapport will start in 3 minutes from now. So let's just keep that board here. While Vishy sir is an exception, what is the age at which a chess player should normally retire? Says Swanand Kopardekar. It's actually very difficult to say. Like in other sports, there is an age generally. Like in cricket, it's near 35 to 40, right? In tennis, it is maybe a little bit earlier than that. By the way, Mahesh Kosuri, thank you for becoming backer of Indian Chess. You're the 5th member of today. Thank you so much. So someone said your voice is coming low, so I'm going to talk a little louder. But in chess, it's not very clear because there are players who have been on top of their games and have retired, like maybe Kramnik. Not top of their game, but they were doing pretty okay. Kasparov. And some players never retire. They start playing a little lesser. Yeah. Korchnoi played till the age of 80. And I think there's a new book which has come on Korchnoi where he has beaten players who are, I think, 50 years younger than him or something like that. It's like Clash of Generations. Like when Korchnoi was in his 70s, late 70s, he beat a young Caruana. Sanat says, by the way, I'm 61 and I'm making a second debut in chess tournaments. Wow. Congratulations, Sanat. All the best to you. Are those all chess books behind you? No. I think of two columns are for chess. The rest are for, there are some entrepreneurial books, there are some self-help books, some fiction books and so on. For all those who want to see the standings one last time before the game begins, here they are. Anand is leading the tournament. He started off with 14 today. He's on 18. He scored 4 points. Caruana has been really the breakout player today. He has scored 6.5 points out of 7 rounds. Phenomenal performance. Richard Rapport is on 6. Aronian on 15.5. Duda on 15.5. So these are the players and Wesley who have a chance to catch Anand. I think Wojtaszek, Shevchenko, Korobov and Gavrilescu do not have chance. And the game is about to go live. Let's see. Richard Rapport. We have what is our poll saying, guys, before the game begins? What does the poll say? The poll tells me that Anand is going to win 79%, 11% Rapport, 10% draw. Okay. Yes, Aroha, Anaspure, I'm going to stream Chessable Masters. This is the game after which I'll start that stream. In that first 10 minutes of that stream, we will look at the last round of this event. And then in... Catalan opening incoming, says Asim. No, Asim, I think Anand will go e4. Yeah, he goes e4. So no Catalan. Sicilian, as we said, French or Sicilian. He goes Sicilian. Vishy goes bishop b5 check, the Rosolimo. Not the Rosolimo, the Moscow variation, right? And after knight d7, which is more fighting. Like generally bishop d7 is more sedate. If you want to fight, you go knight d7, d4 takes, knight takes, a6, bishop d3, g6. And we have some kind of a dragonish position. G6 on the board, c4, Maroczy bind by Vishy Anand. What about bishop g7? You maybe want to go bishop e3, defending your knight in the center. Yeah, Rosolimo is knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. But if d6, bishop b5, it's the Moscow variation. Attacking here and here. Knight b3 by Anand. Attacking the queen. I think queen should go back. Queen c7 looks likely. And now I think Vishy won't go knight c3 because directly knight c3 might hit into bishop takes c3, b takes c3, doubling the pawns. So Anand will go queen d2 and knight c3, I feel. He's taking his time. Goes queen c7 and I think queen d2. Oh, he goes knight c3 and Rapport can actually take it. Oh, he takes it instantly. Vishy is okay with that. Vishy says in a blitz game, it's more important to have a safer king than weak pawn structure. Maybe it's a conscious decision because I was pretty sure that Anand would go queen d2 and would not allow Rapport to do this. But the moment he played it, Rapport was like, maybe he was just holding his bishop in his hand. And now b6. So the point is that in return for this weakness, what white has is dark squared bishop. And these are all dark squared weaknesses in the black camp. So if it's a classical game, it's relatively easier to play as black, like you can take time and try to move around. But when it's blitz, the king being in the center plays an important role, and Vishy understands that. And that's the reason why maybe he went for this. Now knight d4, looking at the b5 square. So look, first he wanted to go a4, a5 to open up more, space because his king is safer. Then when he played a5, b5 square got weak. So knight d4, look at how the weaknesses are created and the pieces are then placed there. Knight b5 attacking the queen. Vishy is better here for sure. Queen c6, c4 is weak, but actually you don't really care for that pawn. Just move your bishop back, and if black takes here, then you just maybe move it away. bd4. Yeah, if you take knight c4, bishop d4, and it's okay. For one pawn, you have excellent compensation in the form of the bishop pair and a nice bishop here, a nice knight here on b5. So bishop e6 played. Richard is like, I really want to take this pawn. But now, guys, what's going to happen is Vishy might go all out with f4. He goes knight d4. But this was interesting, actually. f4, knight takes c4, bishop d4, and then maybe trying for f5. Notice how knight takes here is not working because this is hanging, and you can't take queen takes e4 because bishop f3, this is hanging. So with that, white would have got a massive attack. But knight d4 played, queen c5, and now Vishy plays knight f5. He's attacking the queen, and the knight cannot be taken because queen is hanging. The knight also defends the bishop on e3. So Rapport has to go back. Check here on g7. Queen c8 was not a good move. Queen takes, oh my god, two bishops here against two knights, wins a pawn on b6. Bishop takes, knight takes c4 is not something that you want to do because bishop d4. The two bishops are going to wreak havoc in this position. Open board, king slightly weak, rook c8. Vishy will play rook b1. He sees open files. He puts his rook there. Now some moves, Vishy just finds them very quickly. h4, maybe h3. Well, not letting him come in further. Rook b5 played. Maybe Rapport will push the pawn. Rook to h5. Look at this creative play by Richard. He activates his rook down the 5th rank. Rook to h5. Queen b3 played. Let's see how the game continues. Both sides have around 3 minutes on the clock. Richard has 3 minutes 13 seconds. Vishy has 3 minutes 34 seconds. The knight is slightly loose, but the main thing is that the white king is safer, and also the two bishops and the a5 pawn being weak. So all of this working in Vishy's favor, but h3, very good move. Just trying to weaken the structure over there. And maybe you have to go g3 or you can go g4. Both look possible. See what Vishy plays. Maybe g4, yeah? Yeah, he goes g4. Now the rook has to take the rook on b5. Otherwise, the white rook is a monster on this square. Like if you go back, then I'll just play rook b8 and trade this off. This knight will then start to get shaky. I don't know what Richard Rapport is thinking. Why is he thinking so much? What is he thinking? Is he thinking of some sacrifice here? Take queen e4 and mate on g2. That doesn't work. You always have bishop f3. I don't know. What is he thinking? He's going down on time. 2 minutes 22 seconds. Vishy has 3 minutes 16 seconds. Oh, people are saying oppasaw. Shreyas, no, you can't play oppasaw here. The pawn had to be on h4, and then when you go g4, there is oppasaw. Not here. AB, knight d7. Good move by Richard Rapport. Rook a1. Trying to put pressure here. Maybe bishop c4, and then rook a5 would hang. But now knight db6 is a good move. Just taking control of this structure here. The knight on b6 will sit pretty well. And what's next? I think Rapport is taking a lot of time, and this is what Anand might really work out in his favor here. Because he might be thinking, if I go knight b6 and if he takes here, then knight takes, he exchanges queens, and then maybe rook takes a5, I would have no winning chances. That's why Rapport goes d5. He's always looking for the most creative way to play the position, and Vishy takes here. You see, if he take with the rook, then rook takes a5 is hanging. He takes with the pawn, that makes sense. Now queen d1, come back with the queen, or queen b2, also possible. I think white's position is preferable. a5 is weak, b5 pawn is pretty strong. I think queen b2 makes sense. You're just keeping control of the pawn, also can swing over to f2 when required. Yeah, queen d1, good move. Now the a5 pawn, rook a8. And queen f1, Vishy's going for this pawn. Rapport took care of his one rook pawn, but what about the other rook pawn? Vishy's like, guys, remember my bishop. It's there. It's looking at the h8 square. Anand is winning now. Actually, this is huge advantage. Not even small. Just take this, get in. Can he go knight e5? Oh, he goes f6, take the pawn first. King g7. And now Vishy maybe queen g3. Just planning. Yes, he finds it. Queen g3. Planning to enter here. Then b6, b7. What does black do? Black's move. Not easy to find. g5. Okay. Maybe he can go h4. But why to even touch there? Go queen c7. He goes queen c7. Knight e5. Of course, this knight has to go off. It has to come off the board. f3 was attack. Yeah, he takes. Now queen takes. The rook endgame is lost after queen takes queen. So he has to take with the pawn. Once he takes with the pawn, many ways, b6. Oh, queen takes. What? Take it. Take it. Rook a4. Take this pawn. This is just winning. Vishy is pawn up. Yeah, rook a4. Excellent move by Anand. Count the number of pawns. Black is a pawn down. His pawns are horrible. Bring the king. Oh, he takes on c4, a4. He'll push. But no, pushing means check and here, right? And actually white wins. Can't do that. Vishy is so quick to spot this. Rook c6, rook a6. So king is coming in, but Anand has now blockaded everything nicely. 2 pawns up. King on b6, defending this. Rook trying to enter from the other side. Now, careful, what do you do? How should white win here? Rook h6. Black is trying to keep everything under control. But rook d1. Should we start to enter from this side? Anand has full 2 minutes to figure out how to win this winning endgame. Richard Rapport is a candidate. He is a great chess player. But today, no match for Vishy Anand. How does Anand continue? Rook d1. Yes, excellent move. If you go king c5, I'll go rook d5. If you take, I'll take on e5. Well, this a pawn is dangerous, but it still has 1, 2, 3, 4 steps away from becoming a queen. So meanwhile, Vishy may want to go to d5 or d7 and try to create play. Rook d6. Oof, pawn endgame. Not to go into a pawn endgame because this pawn cannot be stopped. So rook c1 goes back. You can't still push because b5 would hang. h3, king c5. It's not easy to break through. Somehow Richard Rapport has got things under control, but now maybe a zugzwang like position. What happened? Rook a1, king b6, rook d1, rook d6. Oh no, Anand is not going to accept a draw for sure. He is ahead on time by 1 minute 30 seconds. He has 2 extra pawns. He's going to fight on. He's going to fight on. Because he'll go rook a1 and Richard has to go back. Because if he doesn't go back to h6, Anand gets h4 and he creates a passer here. Vishy goes rook g1. What is g1? What's this about? Oh, h4. Why? Rook takes h4. What's your plan? What's your plan? Rook takes h4. Rook. Oh, he goes rook d1. But now rook h8. Oh, Richard Rapport back in the game. Guys, somehow Vishy was not able to break through. Now the position is complicated and this can get really difficult. Rook d5, then yeah, his rook would have come back and this pawn would have become very dangerous. Now Anand doesn't have this pawn. Once you don't have this pawn, these pawns are blockaded. King c5. I think this is going to end in a draw now. Ah, that was so close. He was just very, very close. But maybe there is some twist in the tail because Rapport has only 8 seconds left. He brings in his rook. What is Richard Rapport very ambitious here? Does he think he can win? He cannot play rook b4. Yeah, draw. Incoming, guys. King f2, rook b3. Oh, I'll be surprised if Richard Rapport plays for a win here. Yeah, they agreed to a draw. Yeah. Very close. He was very close. But the win was not easy to find because Rapport had set up some kind of a fortress-like situation, you know. Whenever you go to d5, he was coming to d6. Whenever you go here, he was going back. You can't play c5 because of king b5. So, actually, maybe the winning idea here was rook a1. And I think this is a zugzwang now. No? Because, see, if you move your rook away from the h file, I have h4. If you move your king away, then rook takes a5 is hanging. If you play your rook back to h8, I go rook d1 and you don't have rook d6. So I think it was just a matter of making this one waiting move for Anand. And he would have won this. But he went h3. It's also okay. King c5, rook a1. And now maybe another waiting move. I think this is the point where Anand lost his patience. He went rook g1, rook h6, and here it was important to go back to a1. And he would have won there, but he went h4. And here Rapport managed to... Yeah, here was the point. I think Anand thought he may be able to enter. But after a4, rook e5, maybe rook a8, it starts getting messy. You have all the pawns in the world, but somehow the a pawn is just too strong. And okay, if you're going to play this rook endgame, rook versus few pawns, that can get really tough. So it was about finding this waiting move on a1, just waiting there, let's say like rook a1, and forcing the one of the pieces to move away, then getting either h4 or rook d1, and Vishy could have won. So Caruana, by the way, has won his game against Wesley So. And what other results? Shevchenko draw, Gavrilescu wins, and Korobov, Aronian wins. So let me look at the standings here and see what has happened. Anand on 18.5, still maintaining a 2-point lead. Caruana 16.5, Rapport 16.5, Levon Aronian 16.5, Duda 16.5. Oh, Vishy, what a day. He started off with 2-point lead, right? No, 1-point lead. And he has increased it to a 2-point lead, which is amazing, yeah? Because I thought he might lose that lead in the tournament. So I'm going to let's have Vishy OP here. And guys, one more round left. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this stream right now, because I want to start the other stream of the Champions Chess Tour, where in the first 10 minutes we are going to dedicate to Vishy Anand's game, and then we'll start with the there will be 3 games today: Vidit, Pragnananda, Hari Krishna, all 3 of them playing, Anish Giri leading, Magnus Carlsen playing. It's a great tournament. We're going to follow it, and guys, see you there. Maybe you guys can just, if someone has the time and the energy, can put some timestamps of the 8 rounds that we are covered on this stream, would be very grateful for that. So thank you. And well, he's not won the tournament yet because 9 more rounds tomorrow left. But Vishy is definitely very comfortably in the lead over here. Okay, guys, see you all in some time on the other stream. Take care, do like the stream, and do subscribe to ChessBase India. We have reached 905, 462. Awesome. Thank you all for subscribing, and see you all over there. Bye bye.